very polarizing guy in the Republican Party.
Yes, I am.
And, I think in light of, the things that have transpired in the last week, I think it's important to, sit with the people who have been labeled with pejoratives and fear and these negative connotations. And I think it's important to sit and talk to them. Now, full disclosure, you and I have been buddies for a while.
Yeah.
And I always see people get mad at you and I'm like, I don't know. I don't get it. You know what I mean? And because all of our interactions have always been pleasant.
A lot of people say that.
Yeah. And I found that it was really strange. I think the temperature in the room right now is at a point that is not productive. Yeah. And it's very vitriolic and it's very emotional.
Yeah.
And, anybody who knows anything is that when you react emotionally, you're not thinking clearly. And I wanted to sit. We've been trying to do this for a while, and I've been kind of lazy about it, and I apologize for that. And but I thought you called me this morning. I'm like, fuck it, let's just do it.
Let's just do it. Good timing.
So TJ Fitzgerald,
NEPA Republicans.
How did you it's important to understand where people come from.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important to understand what their roots are. And I think you can understand, everybody's different. And I think their earlier years kind of inform who they are as adults.
100%.
So tell me about how you grew up.
Well, it's out there.
Oh yeah, and you're not shy about shit. So,
no. Which
some people see as that's crazy.
Yeah,
but you're warts and all.
Yeah, well, I really believe that that the tumultuous life I've had and some of the things I've done, good and bad, is a testimony to overcoming a lot of disadvantages in life, and I pray it gives hope and it gives testimony to Jesus Christ saved.
Yeah,
me. Not perfect, obviously. But yeah, I was born in Hackensack, Jersey. Supposedly, I don't know because my mother said my dad was abusive, so she ran away.
Wait, you don't know that? Or were you too young?
I was too young. I was 2 years old, so I don't remember that. All I remember, I don't even remember my dad. I just don't have.
Do you know who he is?
Yes, I know his name.
But you've never met him? Or?
No, never cared to. Because how I was raised, when you're a single mom has their own stories, and now being the person I am, I realize that sometimes those are lies, but you don't know as a kid they're lies.
Right. Santa.
Santa doesn't exist?
I have this thing with my wife where I'm like, when we have a child, I am not going to tell them that Santa is real. And she's
we're no longer friends.
Yeah, she's on the fence. She's like, I don't know. I said, because it's the first lie. It's the first lie. I think in a Western culture, a Christian Western culture.
Yeah, I think what the second lie is?
What is that?
You could do whatever you want once you leave my house.
Yeah, that's total lie. Theoretically, you can.
No, you can't. Well, if you're willing to pay the price.
Correct.
Yeah, but that's the second lie, just to get you out of the house because your parents had enough of you.
So you grew up not having a dad.
I grew up not having, up until about 9-10 years old. I grew up projects, house to house to house.
Where? Projects where?
Wilkes-Barre. Wilkes-Barre, Sherman Hills.
So I'm totally ignorant. I didn't know that Wilkes-Barre had a project.
Yeah, it was low income. Plus, my mother would have we went from apartment to apartment. Typical.
Chaotic lifestyle.
Horrible. Not horrible because my mother loved me, but I didn't get to see her a lot. I was raised by a lot of babysitters. And men, she dated a lot of guys, and I just always knew I was second. It felt that way. No big deal. People have it worse.
I mean, it kind of is. Do you know what I mean? For a young kid who doesn't hindsight looking back, you're like, oh, I could have survived.
I didn't know how bad I had it.
Right.
I didn't know. We were just, at Sherman Hills, we built our own baseball field. There was another guy that had a catcher's mitt. We played baseball. I didn't know how bad I had it at an early age. but I didn't have discipline. I didn't know God. I didn't know anything. And as I grew,
did you try to find father figures as a kid?
Oh yeah, like when my mother dated somebody for a while, I was hoping he was going to be my dad. You know, every son, I believe, wants a dad. You know,
I think every young boy,
yeah. I think that's natural.
Yeah.
You know, just like there's two genders. But
how dare you say something so controversial?
I know. There you go. I'm polarizing again.
Oh,
so yeah. So my mom met my stepdad. My stepdad had the charisma of 100 men. He was connected. He actually did time in Sing Sing for murder. He was. And you know, we moved from the projects to North.
So you basically got a dad that was a convicted murderer.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's normal.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, you know, he was in Ring Magazine. He was a Golden Gloves champion. He was amazing. He was a, tough guy. Threw a football with me, and everything. And we went from, Cedar Village, which was a nice apartment in the day back in Wilkes-Barre. And then we got a house up in Moscow, Pennsylvania, and we became probably middle class. But his lifestyle was one of a con man. And, so, he had, he built a kennel and we trained dogs, and I was dog trainer. I was an agitator. Can you imagine that?
No, I can't. I'm
very good at agitating.
Yes.
We went from having nothing to having brand new cars. My dad would get a new car every month and I would drive it to school when I was 16. But the childhood was very abusive, very mental abusive, once in a blue moon physical, not sexual, thank God.
With your stepdad?
My stepdad.
Yeah.
And I used to pray to God every day. He would ground me so much that the only time I could go is take a walk in the woods because it was rural. And I used to pray to God every day to take my life. It was that bad.
Like to end your life?
Yes, to end my life. Please take.
How old are you?
I was 11, 12, 13, 14, all through that area.
So for years?
Years.
You're just like, I just want
to get away. Ran away from home. I went to the Catholic Church. The priest took me in. My father went, had a discussion with them. The priest kicked me out of the thing. So I was looking for somebody to protect me. Nobody did. My mother didn't. I begged her to leave him. Wouldn't. She was afraid for herself, which I get,
because we have all this security right now.
Yeah.
Like financially.
Yeah.
Why would I do that?
Yeah. I get it, but it was hard. It was hard. But I rationalized that with little parts of love, little parts of, I craved acceptance. I craved his love, acceptance, and I got it at short little interviews, and it was like a hamster on a wheel trying to get something.
Yeah. I used to say when I was a kid, it's like, because there was a lot of not understanding.
Yeah.
And I used to think that it's like life. The reason life is worth living is for the one good day out of the 9 bad ones.
Yeah.
And
so you've had a.
Yeah, but I never came from like my mom and dad are like today.
Yeah.
I can say that they're 2 of the best people.
Yeah.
That I know. But at the time, like when you don't, it's hard. See, I look at trauma as like, what's the saying? Like the worst day of your life is the worst day of your life for trauma.
Yeah.
So in other words, like when you're a kid and your guinea pig dies, it's the worst day of your life.
Yeah.
Then your grandmother dies, and now the guinea pig takes a second chair to the grandmother, and then if you lose a parent.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like I always looked at trauma, in other words, like the hurt people feel I hate people who compared it. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like, well, XYZ happened to me, which didn't happen to you, which makes it worse for me.
That's why we say no big deal, because it is what it is.
Right.
It is what it is. We all go through, life is hard.
Yeah.
Life is hard. I believe it's how you overcome your obstacles. And it took me a while to figure that out. It took a lot of times getting knocked on my ass, hurt, to figure it out. I handle problems, or I'm resilient more than anybody I know. Okay.
So in other words, like you're like dog on a bone. I will get to the end of this thing no matter who says what, no matter what obstacles are in my way. That's my North Star, and that's what I'm going for.
For the most part.
Okay.
But people think it's by trampling over other people or not caring. That's not true. I care about everybody, but I also believe I'm a big fan of not enabling, because I think that makes people weak.
Oh, in other words, like I just give them the iPad.
Whatever,
you know what I mean? Like,
whatever.
Like,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think any type of time when you're not telling the truth is horrible. That's why I'm so polarizing, because people are still in high school and it's like, oh, that's my friend or that's my mom. I don't care. The truth is the truth, whether you like it or not.
Whether it's
and
you
can't fix. I couldn't fix myself or the reality that I grew up in until I addressed it full on and said, this is what happened. Not my fault. It is what it is. Where do I go from here? And I'm handling it.
Did you ever, I mean, maybe you didn't, but maybe your actions were, did you ever think of yourself as like a victim?
Oh, I've been victimized. You choose to be a victim. I choose not to. I choose that bad things happen and to fight them and the compartmentalize. Yes.
Yeah.
And say, okay, that's part of life. And I rationalize. It is the truth. Everybody goes through stuff. Everybody's liked and disliked. It happens. It's reality. I get it. I'm okay with it. Does it hurt when people say I'm polarizing? Yeah. Do I like it? No. Contrary to popular belief, no. But the end.
Well, there are people, and I want to get back to your story, but there are people that like. This is the thing that bothers me, is where they can, like, if you say, I love people, and then someone else says, no, you don't, they think that they're right, even though you said that's not true. Yeah, but they roll with it. Isn't that like what the fuck is that?
I think it's because people haven't hit self-actualization yet. I think people are still unaware of not being aware of who they are in the world. And I think they think their opinion means more than reality.
Do you think that that's out of, like, what is that? Is that fear? Is that jealousy?
No, I think it's a society thing of how we've been raised. I mean, I feel actually lucky at times the way I was raised, because I got
really. You feel fortunate?
Yes, because I'm in reality. I was told life isn't fair many times by my mother. Life isn't fair. So I'm in reality. Life is not fair.
Right.
It is what you make of it. Like I always say, life is like a hand of cards. I got a 2, a 7, an 8, a 9, and a jack. One of the lowest hands out there. I tossed them in. The next time I got a pair, I tossed it in. I'm probably at a straight right now. So it's a better than average hand, but some people were dealt with a royal flush.
It's like those people who were born on third and thought they hit a triple, like that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, no, you weren't.
Yeah. It's like, But yeah, so going back to the life story,
like how did you in your formative years, which is your teen years, because I think like up until like 7 or 8, you get like your programming.
Yeah.
And then like that informs your decisions further on, which would be like Freud would call it like the ego.
Correct.
And those are all your fears and doubts and,
Yeah.
So what about that in like your teen years? Like what was your teen years like? Teen years
was I was an athlete. I won the presidential thing like 4 years in a row.
What's the presidential thing?
The thing at gym class. You do sit-ups, shuttle run, this.
Oh, that. Yeah. They used to do that where it was like we didn't have fat children.
Yes.
you had to pass the physical fitness
Yeah,
thing.
I was the second youngest kid in my grade, best athlete. Like I was the guy that they picked all the time to pick the teams and all that, and quarterback, shortstop, pitcher.
So you were not like the goth kid who was totally introverted. You were very.
I was weird because I didn't like the clique. I've never liked the clique,
like the jocks or the hippies or the.
I didn't get along with either of them. Because the kids that were the cool kids, because of how I was raised at an earlier life, I knew they weren't cool, and I was born poor. And they were rich, and they were snobs, just like the people in our party. That's why I don't like them. They think
you're talking about your party down in Luzerne County.
Yes.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then as far as the pot went, I never wanted pot. It's ironic. I became a drug dealer in life, but I stayed away from that. I started an anti-drug group in high school. I wanted, my whole life I wanted to be loved. More than anything. And where I couldn't get it, I tried to get at least affirmation by being a good kid, a good person, and nobody cared.
Isn't so strange? You're trying to help people and nobody gives a damn.
Exactly.
Isn't that weird?
It's horrible, but it is what it is. It's my lot in life. I consider myself a servant at what I do now. I serve the public. I give them events. I love it. It's the best part of my life. But it was hard. I used to get grounded. I had to quit.
For what though?
Leaving a toothbrush on the side of a sink because it was supposed to be in the cup.
So you're basically like, you grew up with like the great Santini. I don't know if you ever saw that movie.
No.
Okay. It was like that. It was like a very military.
It was a guy that was in jail. And then once I went to jail, I realized why he was who he was, because he was institutionalized, and he just, everything, my bed had to be made. Boom, grounded. Boom, grounded. I realized that he had the issues, but I was the kid, so you
were the weaker one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy put a gun to my head.
He did?
Oh yeah. Your
stepdad put a gun to your head.
Yeah. Like when we were fighting, and I
physically or
no, not verbally, and he threw a cup at me. He did punch me. Not often, but I was scared. Here's a big guy,
convicted murderer.
Yeah. So I was scared. I didn't like to be scared. It's why I fight so hard now, because I don't have to be scared, even though I'm scared.
It's a catch-22.
It's a catch-22.
Yeah.
So
why would he pull a gun? What do you remember that moment?
Oh yeah. I remember running down the hall and him running after me. He had a limp because he had a hip replacement at the time, and he grabbed his .357 snub nose gun, pistol.
Yeah, like the one from like Dragnet.
Yeah, I was in this thing. I forget what the argument was about. Probably something stupid. And he told me, and I finally lashed back out, and he said he'd fucking kill me. He went for his gun, and I, boom, took off down the hallway, down the steps. He never fired a shot, but that was it. Another time I got into an argument with him. He had a guy drive me home from the kennel, and the guy punched me in the chest. And
why?
Because I wasn't listening to my dad. It's I had ADHD when I was a kid. No one knew it. It was ants in the pants back then.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful I'm not on medication, because I probably on heroin, fentanyl, and I'd be dead. But everybody else had to pay the price because
or void of emotion.
Or void of emotion.
Yeah. Welcome to SSRIs, everybody.
It is what it is. I was a lot to handle, but the way they handled it was wrong. And it is what it is. There's a lot of kids that have it worse. But that was my childhood. My childhood was it was
not ideal.
No, by all means. With small parts of love. And it's why I love Christmas. Christmas was always the time that we didn't fight. Christmas was all the time the family would come over. Everything would look good on the outside. I wasn't getting yelled at. I wasn't getting abused.
So the optics were changed. So I love Christmas. I know why now. I didn't know back then, but now analyzing, I realized it was my safe zone. The only time of the year you can look forward to.
Thanksgiving too.
Well, it's like a month.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. The other 11 months are going to blow, but this month's going to be all right.
This month there's going to be days of greatness. So that was it. And then what happened was I barely graduated high school. I fought everybody.
Physically.
The first time I ever got a hug was from Jim, my stepdad. I remember I was at Cedar Village. It was when my mom and my dad first, got together. And
that was the first time you got a hug.
Yeah, from a guy.
Okay.
From a guy. The void. I got off the bus. There was a kid a couple of years older than me, black kid. And we were talking, chirping. Of course, I can't keep my mouth shut.
Mm-hmm.
Diarrhea of the mouth since the beginning of time. And as my dad would say, and stepdad. And I get off the bus and the kid beats the crap out of me. Ran home crying, lumps on me, busted lip. My dad, ex-Golden Gloves, says, what happened? Kid beat me up. He goes, okay. He goes, I'm going to teach you how to box. So he gets on his knees and he throws a jab and he hits me in the thing and I start crying and my mother goes, what are you doing? He turns to my mother and goes, shut up. I'm going to teach him how to be a man. And he said, okay, teach me how to box. He goes, listen, tomorrow you get in the front seat of that bus and then you get out first. And when that kid's going from the first step to the ground, you sucker punch him in the face. And that was it. That was the end of the conversation. I don't want to. I was scared. Mm-hmm. And he says, you either fight him or fight me.
How old were you?
10.
Holy shit. Okay.
So I did what he said. Gets off the bus, boom. Goes to the ground, gets back up, kicks my ass again. Lumps on top of lumps. Again, I run. He goes, I go back home, asks me what happened. He goes, you didn't get on top of him? I go, no. It was my first fight.
Yeah.
He goes, he grabs me. He goes, this is what you do. He sticks his finger in my eye. He pulls my ear. He goes, it's a street fight. He goes, you grab a stone, you grab a stick, you do whatever you can. He goes, nothing's fair in a fight. And I'm deer-eyed. My mother's, get out of here. So the next day he goes, you do the same thing. And I'm crying. No, you have two choices.
Really?
him or me. True story.
Yeah.
Next day, and I get in front of the step. Stupid kid does the same thing. I sucker him again. Get on top of him. Flips me over. Beats the shit out of me again.
So 3 days in a row, you're getting the shit kicked out of you.
3 days in a row.
Yeah.
And then and he says, you don't ever run from a fight. So the bus driver comes out. He goes, you go. I go, no, I'm not leaving. They've separated the fight. Mm-hmm. He goes, my dad told me I can't run. I got to stay here. And I just see everybody. I still remember the hill. The kids going up and down. And it was like a sunset. Their heads went away. And I'm taking the walk of shame home. And I'm hurting.
Yeah.
And my dad pulls up. Says, I'm proud of you. Let's go. We go to the mall. He buys me a glove, a thing, gives me a hug. Attaboy. So what I love to do. Fight. So I found ways to argue with people getting into fights as a kid where, it was just, I was craving a hug. So as a kid, that was my upbringing. Okay.
And that stuck.
It stuck.
Yeah.
It stuck. Then I graduated when I was 17. I told you I was one of the youngest kids. So at 17, I left.
I graduated at 17 too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I left, never looked back, barely graduated high school, like in the middle of the class, because I was suspended. I was, I used to skip school all the time, just adrenaline junkie, and just always just was out there. I mean, I remember one time they thought there was robberies in the area. Me and my buddy skipped school and we had the cops running around and, and they caught me and I
Were you robbing?
No.
You just wanted them to think you
No,
were?
no. I was skipping school to go downtown to have pizza with my friends.
Oh.
No.
I'm trying to understand the equation of the robberies. Okay.
What happened was a truant officer, Bernie Soika, his name was.
I don't even think they exist anymore, truant officers.
I don't think they do. But he was following me everywhere. I would come out of it was snowing, 4 foot of snow. So I'm trampling through the woods. I had one of those ski jackets the ski things. It was a black one with a red stripe. So I turned it inside out so it would be all red because he wouldn't recognize me. That's how brilliant I was as a kid.
Yeah.
So everywhere I came, he was out. So I ducked back in the woods. I get to this carpet place and I call my mom and a rotary phone. Mom, gotta pick me up. And all of a sudden, when that was happening, Bernie came in and pointed to me and said, I looked for a way out. There was no way out. Come out, there's like 8 cops, state troopers, undercover. Yeah. And I come out and my mother's pulling up and I remember her pulling up and Bernie was right to the left of me. She's in front of me.
And Bernie's the truant officer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He was also the Roaring Brook police officer, but also, so he was a tall man. He was 6 foot something. And, he was saying, I was following you all day. And I turned to him, I said, you couldn't catch me on your best day, being
smart ass. Yeah.
Also the athlete, quick guy. I was one of the fastest kid in the school at that time as a young kid. And my mother hauls off, goes to smack me. I duck. Who she hit?
The cop.
No. And then she's just wailing on me. But I got out of it, because my dad was connected, and that's what life teaches you. When you're connected, you could get away with anything.
So how does this lead to jail?
I left the house when I was 17.
How long were you in jail?
6.5 years.
Okay.
And I, again, anti-drug, went down with my cousin who was, he would smoke pot all day long like people would smoke cigarettes. As a matter of fact, he'd roll 20 cigarettes, pot cigarettes, and put them in a Marlboro and smoke.
Called joints.
Okay. I can tell you what, my drug of choice was cocaine. But he would do that, and his name was Karen. And we went down, I lived down on
a man named Karen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Karen.
Oh, Kieran. Okay.
Irish.
That's Irish. Yeah.
It's Irish. And I lived with him, and that's when my first try of cocaine was. So
you never really did drugs before then?
No.
And you're like, oh, I'm going to snort this shit.
Again, I was by myself. I'm living in
How
his
old are you
apartment.
now?
19.
Okay.
19, about that. 18 or 19.
Okay.
And then I was like, woo.
Yeah.
This is great. More adrenaline, higher. It's for me.
Yeah.
Bartended down there, waitered, had fun, dancing. It was just great. It was a great time. And then I started to become a drug dealer. I realized, I got to pay $100 for this, but if I get this, it's $250 and I get 3.5 and what's an 8-ball? And I figured it all out. And because I caught some of the charisma from my stepdad, and because I was tough, or I could fight, even though I wasn't the strongest guy, I just didn't back down. It was an easy way to make money.
How much could you make?
Oh, I made.
No, I mean, like if you like, I buy this. What's the markup?
Oh, you get an 8-ball for $250, depending on. So let's say $200. You sell it for $350. It's $150. Then if you short somebody or you put cut in it, you could even make more.
Like a baking soda or
an isotal,
vitamin something.
It's usually an isotal because it's just nothing. It doesn't burn the nose. You can't smell it, taste it, feel it. So it just looks like weight. And then from there, I went to quarters and half ounces, and it just grew because everybody wanted it.
So instead of like $150 profit off of this, you were getting what eventually?
No, by $150, but then you snort some of your profits.
Well, no, but my point is like the more you buy, it's economics.
It's economics.
So the more the more supply you have, the more money you can make.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
what at before you went to jail, how did those economics change from like, I made $150
I moved back to PA. Okay. Got into an argument with a Colombian drug dealer.
Smart.
And it just wasn't worth the risk anymore. And I said, you know what? Let me get back. I went back and I was done with drugs.
And now, so this is like 19 is your first taste, and now where are you at?
Probably
like,
20.
Oh, that fast?
Oh, that fast.
Oh, okay.
It was that fast.
All right.
And I came back up, worked at in the Poconos, assistant bar manager, because at that time I had a mixology degree, and I was.
What year's this?
85, 86.
Okay.
Yeah, 85.
Is this like the Rick Leichus time or whatever?
I don't know who that is.
That's the guy who used to be running drugs up.
Oh,
up to
to
the plains.
Yeah, he was the largest drug bust, and I think our organization or the people I was affiliated with. Not that I was.
You were a sub of that.
I was a sub of the second largest. Yeah, in Pennsylvania, which I'm not proud of. But when I came back up to Pennsylvania, got back with my ex-girlfriend, things were going good, and then I started to, do drugs again. Cocaine has been the devil to me. And then I remember me and a friend robbed a place. And, just
like a house or
no, a bar,
a
business. And, it just horrible, just for fun. I didn't need the money, just because I had a void in my life, and many voids. And then the next thing is I lost my job. And then I'm sitting, how I got back involved with selling drugs was I broke up with the girlfriend with another girl. We're being intimate or whatever, and a call comes in, and it's this guy. Got to pick up Juan. He's the local drug dealer.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave my keys to my friend Larry. And Larry comes back. He goes, TJ, oh my God, this guy had a bag of coke like this. And he goes, what do you look like? All this. And of course, I was like, well, why didn't you just take it from him?
Right.
And I go, do you remember where he lives? He's like, yeah. So I said, let's go. And I was going to rob him. And I didn't because we couldn't find him. And, it was next thing you know, a week later, I'm sitting at the Swiftwater Inn and I'm drunk. I don't have a job. I went to the bank and took out a loan of $3,000 at Penn Security just to survive. And of course I lied. I said I stole the job. Back
right.
then they couldn't check
verify it.
They couldn't verify it. So I have probably about $2,000 left. And guess who comes and sits on the porch next to me?
Who?
Juan.
The Colombian drug
lord?
lord?
No, not the one from Florida. This new guy.
Okay.
The one that Larry said had a bag of coke this. And he described him. Dude's sitting right next to me. Okay.
What's the universe telling you?
It's to be a drug dealer, obviously, or run, which I took the worst choice. And I said, hey, do you remember that car? I said, Blanco Caro. And he goes, yeah. I go, and he's mad. I go, what's the problem? He could have spoke broken English. He goes, no ride to New York. I said, I'll give you a ride. So I give him a ride to New York. Never been to New York before. Drive down Lower East Side, 6th Street, go into a place. And I got $2,000. I go, how much? Then they made me do a line, big line.
Yeah.
So this was after 2:00 in the morning at the Swiftwater Inn.
To prove you're not a cop?
Yeah.
Okay.
Drive down there, get there. Her name was Tina Hernandez. I still remember her name.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember it, like walking in through a steel door. Just the triple beam scaled, her taking it out, breaking it off a key, putting on there, bought 2 ounces, went back. On the way back from New York, I'm going 90 miles an hour because now it's daylight.
Yeah.
I passed a state trooper. I'm going like 90.
Yeah. And you just did a 12-foot rail.
I did them on the way back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not even a drug dealer up here one day. And I'm going to get arrested.
Yep.
Get off the exit. Cop goes by. Never got arrested. He missed me.
Yeah.
Get to my buddy Larry's house because at that time like I said, living with him was where I was living. And I threw the ounces. And he goes, where'd you get that? I said, Juan. And then the rest is history. I went from that to, you know, getting kilos once in a while, getting quarter ounces, just hustling, living like an idiot, like a total idiot, like horrible. And
you were still using, right?
Oh,
and
yeah. Oh, every day.
Yeah.
I would get up and do a line, and it was just, I was caught up in, again, it was a void. Everybody loved me. They didn't love me.
They liked that you were you had coke.
Yeah. But I didn't care. Fill the void.
Yeah.
So, and I became my dad.
Stepdad.
Self-fulfilling prophecy, man. It happens.
So how do you get caught and go to bed or go to jail? Go to bed. What the fuck?
Yeah, no. People testify. In front of a grand jury. It was
but how'd you get caught?
I didn't.
Explain that to me.
In the federal system, you don't have to get caught. They could build a case against you beyond a shadow of doubt. They had a lady at the hotel remember me. The person I went down with. So
there was probably another investigation going on, and they just connected the dots to you for other stuff.
It was an investigation with that group, and the group they start to snitch.
Okay.
No, not Juan. People in northeastern PA, because not only was I getting from New York, I had a connection in Philadelphia, and then eventually it was a connection from Miami.
Okay.
It's like that. It was like that. It was just, I went from here to here because I was willing to walk into a project by myself with no gun, no nothing. I just didn't care. I just thought it was normal life. It was like, okay, I'm just going to go do this, go pick up this. Never worried about dying, never worried about getting robbed. Had $40,000 on me for buys and nothing. But
it's incredibly masochistic. You know what I mean? Like, it's incredibly with no consequences. It's very, and it seems like people that behave like that, get into that stuff and what you're talking about, it seems like part of you wants to get caught.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, I know this is an insane loop.
Yeah.
And I want it to stop.
Yeah. And honestly, I was really happy when I did get to jail. It was the only way it was going to stop.
So did they knock on your door? Or?
Yeah. The feds knocked on my door. I said, hey, we're the feds. We got you. We want to have a conversation with you.
No trial?
No. I pled guilty. Everybody else was pleading guilty. We all pled guilty. Not one person in our case took it to trial.
Because it was so rock solid, or?
So 99% conviction rate in the feds.
Okay. So there was no, well, I mean, look, you did it.
I did. They had all the proof.
It's not like prove it. It's like you did it.
Yeah.
So then how does that square in your head where you're like, oh, now the ride's over?
I was exhausted at that point because
you're in the active throes of addiction too, right?
A habit. I don't like to call it addiction.
Okay, fair. That's fair.
It was just my habit.
You wake up, you drink the coffee.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was a habit.
Yeah.
It was, what happened was someone got busted up here, the Cuban guy, at a hotel. Then everything started to dry up.
Like domino or?
Yeah, it was a domino. Yeah. And then it was a domino effect. And it was from the top guy ratted on the guy below, believe it or not. And
usually works the other way.
But they got the top guy, and they just, back then it was the war on drugs and everybody's got to go to jail for crazy.
So is this the late 80s or is this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I went to jail in 1989.
So this is like Miami Vice shit.
December 27th, 1989. I remember when I went to jail. I don't remember the day I got out.
During your favorite holiday.
During my favorite holiday. Well, no, it was after the holiday.
Yeah, but I think it counts up until New Year's.
Oh yeah, that Christmas was great for my family.
But you knew you were going away, weren't you?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So where do you go?
I went to Monroe County at first because I actually sold to an undercover way back when, but they didn't know who TJ was. So when the feds picked it up, they had a bulletin, anybody know by an alias. So they worked against me because I was going to take it to trial until I realized it was senseless taking the trial.
Yeah.
So I got a state charge and a federal charge, run concurrent, never went out. So it wasn't like I got caught, went to jail, came back out, and did the crime again
and reoffended.
Correct. So, yeah, it was the best and worst day of my life.
Well, you told me that you really enjoyed jail.
Sometimes, yeah. It was easy. It was easy. There was rules. Got up, made your bed, they did count, you had a job. Everybody, did the same thing and everybody got paid. It was the closest thing to a communist society that you'll ever be a part of. But at the end of the day, you're lonely. At the end of the day,
okay,
there's no self-esteem. It was simple. It was easy. I get why people could be attracted or comfortable to confinement or communism. Because, because,
like, did you know that at the time? Or you're like,
no,
this is communism?
No, not at all.
Yeah, you weren't even political, were you?
No, not at all.
Yeah,
not at all. And then jail, I learned a lot of different, because I was a minority, so I know what it's like to be a minority. I know what it's like to be picked on because I used to love to play sports. And when I went to the basketball court, black people hated when I was there, some of them. And then some black people were like, man, leave the dude alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I got everything. I was an athlete. I got paid by Dominicans to play on their baseball team because
in jail.
Okay. Oh, there's a lot of wagers, thousands. They would bet on a game in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially between the Puerto Ricans and the Dominicans, they hate each other.
That's a thing that, like, this is probably the point where it's going to probably start getting a little controversial, where it's like objective reality is, you know what I mean? Like, people don't realize that you say like Hispanic or South America or anything like that, and you think it's like an all-encompassing thing. But the truth is like, just like people in Jersey don't like some of the people in Pennsylvania.
Right.
That's how that works in other countries. Like would you say the Dominicans don't like the Puerto Ricans?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's always been a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And nobody likes the Mexicans.
Well, that's like they practice racism.
Yeah, they do.
Which I don't believe in. I believe in prejudice, but that's what they're doing. They're like, and my buddy, I have a buddy that's been on here before, and he's from the the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Right.
And he's like, which he told me, which was fascinating. He spent his formative years.
I've seen the video.
Did you?
Yeah.
He's an awesome guy. One of my favorite people in the world. But he's like, based on we know based on the bridge of your nose or the height of your forehead, like what tribe you're in, whether you've been good to us or bad to us.
Yeah.
He goes, we immediately like
genetics.
throw up a protection to be wary of that, or
they should
be like their friends.
They should.
Yeah, I like
safety. That is an innate humanistic thing since dinosaurs.
Yeah,
we want to be safe.
Yeah,
without safety, we have nothing.
Right.
That's it. If we're getting killed or attacked, what else is there?
Well, I think
you can't live a life.
I think what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to point out that, like, it isn't like this myopic, one-sided perspective on. I'm not.
And by the way, the blacks are the same. The blacks inside, DC hated New York, hated Philly. It's weird.
It's like a tribal thing amongst. It's a tribal thing amongst tribal people.
But when the shit goes down, the blacks stick against the whites sticks against the blacks go against so they have their inner fighting. But when it's interracial fighting, they come together.
How good or bad is the interracial environment in the prison? Well, I mean, I don't know now, but
it's
like in the
better
80s,
than
90s.
the public. You want to know why?
Wait, so what you're telling me is the discourse in prison about race relations is better than...
Yes, 100%.
Why do you say that?
Because they know if we don't get along, we die.
Really?
If we don't figure out a way to coexist, it's turmoil. And most people don't want turmoil. They don't want to get stabbed. They don't want it. Like most of the places I had, there was always 4 TVs. There was a white TV, Spanish TV, black TV, and then sports TV. And then sometimes there was a movie. And then what would happen was the black leader or Spanish leader, it wasn't a racial thing. It was just an ambassador would be like, hey, listen, go to the other ambassador. Listen, there's a really, we want to watch Seinfeld. Or it could have been like, we want to watch, something.
SNL or
whatever.
Yeah.
And you would go, hey, listen, can we trade this night and all that? And it worked. It worked because we knew that it had to work. Or
otherwise it's the collapse and it's a free for all and it's anarchy and life is not precious.
And honestly, you had your Dominican baseball, softball team. We had Puerto Rican baseball team. We had the white baseball team, the black. It was like almost every jail, every place. Guess what the black team was always called?
What?
The Black Panthers.
Always?
Almost always. The White Boys. That was the name of the teams. And it was loved. We used to joke about it. We had fun with each other. We respected each other. We loved each other. Where it was like, okay,
in prison,
100%. It was fun.
I think people don't get this.
They don't understand that. I think that's why I'm polarizing again, because I have
you have the perspective.
I have a perspective that you can always be different and not like each other, even hate what a person can do without hating the person.
Right.
Or without retribution for the most part. Now, there's certain things that you don't go across the line. Like gambling, don't owe a debt.
Okay.
You buy some drugs in jail, you better pay.
Right.
You know what I mean? Certain things would make people get like abusing the phone was a big one. Like, your time's up because you only have so many times on the phone that the next person wants to talk to their family.
Yeah.
There was certain.
Don't rob me. Don't rob me of my time with my family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was certain things like that. The rest was just bullshit. You know what I mean? But yeah, so prison.
Do you think there was like a more honor?
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Like it almost seems like if you compare today to your time in prison, it seems more like it was a little bit more polite. If that makes sense, because there was always a fuck around, find out aspect to it.
Yeah.
So everybody was kind of more polite to each other.
Yeah, and we realized
or at least there was a respect.
We were different, and for the most part, we all interacted for safety with our own kind. Okay? I was the weirdo. I was the only person that had a black cellmate. His name was Carrie from New York. I hung out with everybody, and I didn't care because that's just who I've always been. And
you also grew up in the projects.
It was all white back then.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
No shit.
Very few blacks in this area back when I was growing up. Very few. Very few. And I didn't really look at them, the few that were here, as black.
They were just your neighbor, your buddy.
I was a kid.
Yeah. They're on the school bus with you. As long as you're not hitting them.
Yeah. As long as they're not hitting me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was.
I don't think that's a race thing. I think that's an asshole thing.
Yeah. And so I remember we had a work strike. I was the white ambassador.
A work strike?
We had a work strike. There was a time
you could strike in prison?
We're not supposed to. Okay, so
you organized labor?
100%. We built everything. We ran everything. And we were the labor. Communism.
Yeah.
And $1 a day. They got us. But we get free food and we get free medical.
Oh, wow, that's such a weird parallel.
I know. I get that. So it's why I fight against it.
Yeah.
Because the rich get to go home, the guards.
Yeah.
They have the women, they have the children, but we're just going day to day and nothing changes. Well, I remember when I got out of prison, I thought I was I'm looking at video games. I had that little football thing with the line that would go like this.
Yeah.
And then I see people. I had in television. I come out and you've got the
Sega Genesis.
Oh my God.
Yeah, PlayStation.
I was in a time warp.
Yeah.
Then I realized how bad, even though I liked prison, I realized how much it retarded me in life. that it stunted my growth, that I was 10 years, almost 10 years behind everybody socially.
Right.
Okay. But getting back to the prison, the work strike. So we weren't supposed to, we said, okay, Bill Clinton was coming with a thing that you could get another year off for good behavior. So the whole prison, federal prison system went on a work strike. It's amazing. The internet, before the internet.
Yeah.
It was amazing. We all knew not to work.
How did everybody communicate? That's insane.
By families.
That's amazing.
You had families in different jails. And
Yeah.
then, it was, and I'm sitting out there, and then they locked us up. The guards were there. We tipped over tables, smashed TVs. Didn't hurt anybody. Didn't hurt a guard. Then they said, oh, okay, we're going to, tear gas you if you don't lock down. So we locked down. And I remember the SORT team coming into me. The next day, they got people out to talk to the counselors and said, are you going to go back to work? And I said, no. I want to break the line. And they put me back in. And that day, they took from over the 2,000 people that were in the jail, like 200 of us, they put on a bus. They first of all, the SORT team came.
Just because you said, no, I'm not going back to work.
Yeah. Rightfully so. You gotta, you can't have that in a jail.
Yeah.
You can't. I get what I did, and I did what I did. But again, I'm willing to do whatever I want as long as I'm able to pay the consequences.
Right.
That were the consequences. I don't blame them.
Yeah.
They did the right thing. You have to be safe. They have families to go home to. They have a right to be safe.
Yeah.
Okay. Came in, threw me to the ground, beat the crap out of me.
The COs did.
Yeah. Yeah, they had the
rag gear and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, right gear. Baton in one arm, baton in the other, handcuffs. My feet didn't hit the ground until the hall. Then I'm in the hall. Then they took 200 of us in a bus from Minersville down to, we got in and we're thinking, oh, where's the next hub? Where's the next hub for federal prison? So we thought Lewisburg, past Lewisburg. Then we thought there was one in Maryland, past Maryland. There's people on the bus pissing themselves, shitting themselves. We're standing there. We got a brown bag with a sandwich and a kudos, but kudos were there and a water. And we're actually physically leaning into another person's crotch to eat because we couldn't get the sandwich up. They took us to Atlanta Penitentiary.
Oh, fuck. Like,
yeah, it was bad. But we deserved it. We shouldn't have done what we did.
Yeah.
Put us in where the Cubans rioted, and they put us in the cells. And for 2 days, we couldn't call anybody because we were beat up. They didn't want us to, they wanted us to heal.
Yeah.
They redesignated everybody. And what they try to do is try to designate you as far away from your family as possible. And my sister at the time was in California. My mother was, and it was the only two people in my life really, was in Pennsylvania. They put me right into Texas. So they flew me. You ever see the plane from Conair?
Yeah.
That's a factual plane.
No.
Swear to God. Took me, and that's exactly what they do. And they took me to El Reno, Oklahoma, which is a designation. Spent there until they had a bus trip down to Texarkana prison. I did Texarkana. Great facility. I remember going to the hold, and I remember the DHO officer, disciplinary hearing officer, saying, you Yankees, you shit on us, blah, blah, blah. Who do they think they are sending their shit? So I'm in there, I'm going, oh, God.
Yeah. He's prejudiced against me.
Yeah. No, I could care less.
I know.
But I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, shit, I'm screwed. He goes, you know what? F them. Dismissed. So now my designation doesn't go up. It still stays the same. On the campus, so I remember the first night I'm in the hall, and then this guy comes in. First of all, I'm on the lower bunk. Guy comes in, skinny as shit. He's got these tattoos on his back. It says Dallas, and 2 guns and all that. Half his teeth. By the way, every white guy in Texarkana has only half their teeth.
Summer
teeth. Summer there, summer not.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in the jail. This dude comes in. He goes to me. He goes, you can have the bottom bunk. I said, I'm taking the bottom. I'm in the bottom bunk. I said, there was no option.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, oh shit, I'm going to, obviously the TJ in the back is saying, oh shit, I'm going to get in trouble because I have to fight this guy, which I don't want to fight him, but you got to stand up. No problem. He goes, oh, by the way, just so you know, I'll be on the toilet later. So if you hear splashing, it's just me getting a bag out. I said, what bag? He swallowed heroin. He got a kiss from his girlfriend, and that's why he was in a hole. But they swapped the bag of heroin in a balloon. So he shit it out, and I'm sitting there going,
oh, he's got to stick his hand in there.
And get it out. Now I'm in a cell with a guy with heroin. That if they get the heroin in the cell,
you're culpable too.
You have no choice.
Yeah.
Now he gives me a mirror. He goes, could you watch while I do something? I forget what he was doing. I was like, I want no part, but I have to do it. Let's see if the cards are coming. So I get on the block, and the first thing I see is a guy getting hit with a sock and a lock. Basically, you put a lock.
Like a master lock?
Yeah, a master lock with the hook. You put a sock through it, and you spin it. Gives a lot of torque. Guy's getting beat up, and all I hear is, you didn't suck my...
Really?
I'm like, I'm trying to get up to B unit. And then I get up to B unit, and there's people getting tattoos. I went from federal prison, where everything was white collar, northeastern PA.
Yeah.
Just do your time, to Texas. Things are different in Texas.
Yeah.
I got out. I remember at the time I shaved my head. So I'm sitting watching the TV and minding my own business because I'm just watching. I put my back against the wall because you're afraid. But that's
every day.
That's every day.
Every moment of every day.
Yeah, but you just, eyes in the back of your head. And so, sitting there, the guy comes over to me, he goes, you one of us? You one of us? I go, what? One of what? Pulls a tattoo. It's a black guy being hung.
Like an Aryan Nation guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go, no. He goes, okay. And then I ended up, the first time I was able to chow, there was 2 other guys that came with the same prison with me, a kid named Ray out of Philly, half black, half white, got along with him at the prison, knew him, you know what I mean? No problem. And a Boston guy. So we're sitting in the tables and a big black guy comes over. Darkest night, 300 pounds. Yo, man, you're sitting in the wrong place. I'm looking at him. I'm going, here I go again. Mm-hmm. And he goes, you're sitting around. I go, what do you mean? He goes, man, I'm doing you a favor. Look around. I look around. I go, what? He goes, don't you realize everybody's black on the side, this side, and the white people over there? Oh, he goes, I go, I'm sitting wherever I want. And Ray goes, dude, just get over there. So me and the Boston guy got up and we went over. Yeah. It was just like that in Texas. The Crips were there. The Bloods were there. It was amazing. It was just, I got along with everybody. It was, sports were amazing there. I mean, it was funny because they had a draft for football. Damn near. A draft. So you get 2 people to pick a team.
Oh, I get it.
And then they start a draft. I was the first pick because I was quarterback. Guess who picked me?
The black guys?
Crips.
The Crips picked you?
Swear to God on my daughters and Jesus Christ, I can't do that, but I swear to God.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
First game. The guy that picked me, his name was Cuddy. Okay. The weird dreadlocks and all that, the big guy. And then, oh my God, I can't remember and they were best friends, a Crip and a Blood. And we're playing the Bloods in a scrimmage. First game. Yeah. I throw a pass over the middle and the guy hits the guy. All of a sudden they scream out, war zone. I'm like, I'm sitting there and all the white guys are like, TJ, come on over, run. I'm like, I'm oblivious to everything. And all of a sudden they start to in the yard. And I run over to guys and goes, come on, let's go to this part of the weight pile. So they had weights, they had shanks, they had everything ready just in case the shit went down. Over a freaking pass. That's how fast it could go. Sideways.
Like all of a sudden it's like, okay, the gloves are off. Everybody's in danger right now.
Yeah. And then a week later, they're friends again.
Yeah. But it's almost like the outside world.
And that was another thing. One of the funniest things that I had you get hoodies and I had a red one. And I was working in Unicor, which is places that pay you a little extra. and you do government work. So we were building desks and all that. And I was in the accounting and stuff like that, because in prison, even though I graduated halfway and I barely graduated high school, I was probably one of the brainiest people in prison.
Right.
Okay. Because the education at North Pocono far surpasses anything that's in prison for the most part. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And I remember wearing that the first time I was doing Unicorn, the white guys were going, "Hey there, little red," and they were grabbing my
hood.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they grabbed my ass, and I was like, "All right, who wants to fight?" They call that bidding.
Oh.
They have fun with you. They, and that guy came and goes, "TJ, just roll with it." He goes, "Because if not, your time here is going to be horrible." So the next time I turned around and said, "Yeah," I started singing the song with them. They start high-fiving me. They got that I got it. And it was funny. There's a tradition in prison. When they like you, they bust your balls.
Yeah, it's endearing.
It's endearing.
Yeah. Like when I was growing up,
Yeah.
my grandparents would be like, "Ah, you old Mick bastard, all you wop." You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It was always
Fun.
It was a sign of love.
Endearment.
Yeah. That's what
Yeah. So I remember the first time I was so loved down there that by Black, Spanish, all that. The day I found out that they were redesignating me and sending me back to Pennsylvania, close to my mom,
mm-hmm.
in Unicorn, there was a elevator for the desks and all that, and they told me to go down and drop off a bill of lading. I was in the receiving and dish delivery R&D, and I went down there, and they gang tackled me, and you don't know which way it's going to go, ever.
Yeah.
They put masking tape around my feet. They tied me with my hands behind my back and put the tape on my mouth.
That's terrifying.
Oh, I didn't know which way it was going.
Yeah.
And they pulled my pants down.
This sounds great.
And they put me in the elevator and pushed the button. Well, guess where all the civilians work? Downstairs with all the stuff. That's the guard. I'm naked coming up. I'm naked from here to here, and I'm like, and everybody was laughing. They put it on. Then later on that day, they give you what's called a commissary shower, where they get baking powder, honey. They tackle you, they pour it on you, and then you just got to take a shower. That's the way that they send you off if they love you.
Yeah.
Got one of those. Got that at a couple places. So when you asked me about jail, I learned people are people. People all go through shit. People all they really want to be loved. Most of the people I always wanted to be part of a family. Didn't get the shot. Were born into non-nuclear families. Born poor. And just got a bad hand like I did. And most of us want a better life. And most of the people were drug dealers that went to federal prison. A lot of intelligent, good people that wanted a better life. But because they weren't part of the clique, because they were born in the wrong zip code, because they didn't have a dad to mentor us, we get fucked. I took that away from prison. So prison was a good thing. Since being out of prison, it's been a weird walk. When I got out of prison, halfway house, didn't have a car, didn't have a license. I didn't realize it was suspended, so I had to give it up. So I couldn't use a car for a year. So I used public transportation, the bus, for a year. I worked at Genetti's as a waiter, sat by myself because they were all kids, and I just didn't fit in. Worked at Farley's restaurant, and then I also worked as a bundle boy in a suit factory. I went from having 5 cars, spending $1,000 tabs in the Woodlands, to go into a communist society in jail, where I loved a lot of the people, to being alone again. That's hard. I get why people recidivism.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it. It's hard. It's not easy. And I got lucky. There was a guy named David DeLeo that had National Federal Financial. It was a mortgage broker. And he gave me a chance telemarketing. And I went to his company. It was at a shack. And it was doing a refinance boom. And he gave me a chance, and I learned the business. And I went from telemarketer to assistant manager in less than a year. In less than 2 years, I own my own mortgage company out of jail. That's why I love America. Because no matter how many times you get a bad hand, you could throw it away and try to get a better hand if you don't make excuses. If you try. And I failed at that because I didn't know how to keep books. You know, I became probably the biggest mortgage broker in Northeastern PA. I started a wholesale lending group with a partner. That didn't work out. So I moved to Wilkes. It was in Scranton, moved to Wilkes-Barre. Started Blue House Mortgage, and it just went good. I had like probably 17 employees at one time, but I didn't know how to keep the taxes. So I back taxes that I had to pay just because I didn't know, I had to be a businessman because I didn't have didn't have the nuclear family. I didn't have the training. I didn't have the college. I didn't have that, but I wanted more.
Also they make it very difficult for you to be a small business owner. It's
horrible.
Yeah.
It's hard. But because of the charisma, because of my past, I could solve problems because I've created so many problems, and I've always been able to ask questions and have people believe in me because even though I did something illegal, for the most part, I'm a trustworthy guy. If I say I'm going to do it or not do it, whether it was good or bad, I'd follow through with it.
Right.
So, I ended up getting married, and went back to using drugs.
Because why not?
Again,
I'm just
it was a void. It wasn't the marriage. I had too much money too fast, and
do you think it's a maturity thing?
Oh yeah. I'm still not the most mature person in the world.
Yeah, I think every time you learn like a new life lesson, you're just getting more mature.
Yeah,
like you're just getting more.
I think I had that. So I know where I'm at in the world, and where I'm at in the world is not a very mature person at times.
Sure.
Not the most educated person by far.
Yeah.
Vocabulary wise or knowing history. I
don't think you have to be intelligent.
No, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I know I'm very intelligent.
I was just making sure that you weren't going to like cut yourself short.
No.
Yeah.
No, I know that I know self-actually. I know I'm very good at figuring things out or finding someone that can help me figure it out.
Right.
Because of the life I've lived. I also know that the bigger picture is more important than me.
Mm-hmm.
If you love people and you have a commonality like I do now in politics, I become a servant. When I was in jail, I used to write letters for people that couldn't write. Okay? The more you serve people, the more love you get. And again, what do I always want?
Love.
Mm-hmm. It's that simple. You want to know me? It's easy. I tell people, and I hate people. I shouldn't say hate people. I hate when people that had it better than me don't serve the people and serve themselves. That's why I'm polarizing. If you ever look at anybody that doesn't like me, they fit into that category.
So let's get people up to speed. So you go through all this, which I think you've lived a very difficult life compared to, let's say, the general public, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they don't have any perspective, like the whole Jesus thing, like walk a mile in a man's shoes, shit like that. I don't think anybody does that anymore.
No.
I don't think anybody thinks about that anymore. And it's like, well, if you understand that facet, or at least you empathize with that facet. Maybe you don't have to experience it to empathize with it.
Mhm.
Then you're always going to look at that person in a negative. Like, we always fear what we don't understand, right? And that's why I think it's so important to talk. I think it's so important to hear people's stories, and then you can understand like where they're coming from. And it's like, you can still disagree.
Yeah.
You could still say like, you know, maybe I would have turned right at that moment.
Yeah.
When you turned left.
Yes.
But that doesn't make you a terrible person. That doesn't make you an evil person. That doesn't make you, you know, subhuman or less than human. And
it makes us different. And that's a good thing.
Well, yeah. You know,
if everybody was the same.
About like 10 years ago, I was on social media, because that's all real. And there was like a daughter of a friend of mine. And she might have been like 12 or 13. She shouldn't have had a Facebook. But she put up a post. And she wrote it. I don't know if she heard it from somewhere, but she wrote it. And she goes, all of us are born originals. Most of us die copies. And I thought that was incredibly profound.
Yeah, it's very intuitive.
Yeah, for a young kid, totally. And I always thought that, like, what does that mean? Like, if we're all going to die a copy, what does that mean? Oh, we're all trying to be all these things that aren't really genuine, that aren't sincere, that aren't honest, that aren't true. Yeah. And I always fought in the fear of that. I was like, I don't ever want to be.
Oh, you're different.
A little bit. But like,
I think it's what attracts us.
Well, I mean, I've always been. Look, man, I rooted for the Buffalo Bills 4 Super Bowls in a row, knowing that they were the underdog. They still lost. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, I've always empathized.
I hate to tell you this, but they weren't the underdog. They just sucked at the Super Bowl.
Look, you make it that far. You make it to the big show, and you can't win fucking one of them.
I know.
But like, I've always, the outliers. You know, it's the whole thing of like 4 out of 5 doctors recommend. Well, what's that one doctor think? I want to hear what he has to say. He's more interesting.
And why?
Sure, I want to hear why.
And why?
Yeah, I want to know. Like, are
these other people right, or are these other paid off?
I'd like to know. I'd like to discern that for myself.
Curious minds want to know.
But I'm not going to take somebody else's word for it.
Do the investigation.
Yeah, I want to figure it out.
Yeah.
So what made you? You and I met, because of, or in spite of, or surrounding that. You know, I don't look at myself as a conservative. What I tell people now to try to like mend the fence before they have some sort of opinion is I say I'm basically a 93 Democrat, which today makes me a fascist.
Right.
And I think that's because that's what it is.
Right.
And
I was once registered as a Democrat.
So was I. And I mean, truthfully, I'd rather be an independent.
Me too.
Truthfully, I'd rather do that. But unfortunately, in this state,
I wish there wasn't parties.
Well, what's open primaries?
Yeah.
I would love to be a state with open primaries.
I would like that, but I would actually like no parties. I would like people.
I would too.
I would like people to be able to, you know, I would love the government to say, okay, we're going to give ample money.
Wow, the distribution of puts you in a gray area too.
I know. But this is TJ's one. I call it Fitzgeraldville.
Okay.
In Fitzgeraldville, there are certain things. I
before you get to Fitzgeraldville, I just want to say that like I thank you for sharing that, what you just shared, because I don't think a lot of people know that.
What's that?
About your story.
Oh.
You know, we didn't even get to the Jesus stuff, but like
everybody has their story, and a lot of people are afraid to tell it. And everybody has their story, and it's okay. It's okay to be not okay. It's okay to be different, because like that girl said, we all are different.
Yeah.
And we all have we all have something to offer. Everybody. We just got to figure what that is to offer.
Yeah.
But thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. All right. Fitzgeraldville.
Okay. Well, they always say, because I'm opinionated. So one of my friends said,
oh, yeah. No, you have an opinion? Get the fuck out.
Polarizing. But yeah.
And you don't keep it quiet? What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Okay. And it's okay to change your mind.
Totally.
Because when you change your mind, it shows you're an intelligent person. If you're narrow-minded and never change your mind, that means you're not open for education, or you're not open to reasoning.
It's incredibly, to me, it's one of the biggest character traits, one of the most positive character traits, to admit when you're wrong.
100%.
Don't grovel in it. Don't fucking self-flagellate
Own
yourself for being wrong. Be like,
Own it,
oh,
move on.
I was wrong about that one.
Be better.
Yep.
Be better.
Moving forward, I will make sure that is at the forefront of my knowledge, and I will not fucking journey down that road anymore.
I get into discussions with my mother or other people, and they go, you know what? You're never wrong. You're never wrong. I go, hold on. I was wrong here. I apologize. I was very hungry. I said, you want to know why I think I'm never wrong? Because as soon as I'm wrong, I say, I'm sorry. I don't fight you. Every time you're wrong, you will fight me even though you're wrong.
Yeah.
You make a bigger issue out of saying I'm sorry, or you think I'm picking on you, calling you a mean person. I'm not.
Yeah.
But we'll argue when you're wrong. Me, I lay down, say I'm sorry, and move on. So it's the friction isn't there when I'm wrong.
I think when it comes to words, intention is very important to the equation.
I don't care about that.
Well, I do.
I know.
I care about like
right is right. Right is right.
Yeah. I might say things that you don't like, but I'm not intending to hurt you.
Oh, I agree.
That's what I mean by intention.
I agree. Okay, yeah.
You know,
yeah. I agree.
100%. How you define whatever I'm saying to you is, unfortunately, it's not up to me.
Right.
So I never come from I don't think that you do either. I don't think that you come from a place of malice. I think sometimes you come from a place of like,
I don't give a shit.
Well, I think sometimes
I do.
Sometimes it's things that you do care about that, like, you know, and we all do it. And I'm not he without sin.
Bring it on.
I'm not doing it.
Now
I'm not fucking doing it.
Tell me where I come from.
No, I think that sometimes that like, and it's human. It's the same as like, you know, I'm allergic to pollen. That's how I look at it.
Right.
It's sometimes people just react in these ways because it's not about the moment.
Right.
It's never about the moment. It's always about what happened before.
Yes.
That informs the moment in your mind, like in your reality.
Right.
Now in Fitzgeraldville,
right.
I think you know this, but I look at reality as a unique experience amongst every human being.
Correct.
Right. So we will never observe the world in the same way, and nor would we want to.
I agree.
Yeah. I don't want to see, and this is not me being ignorant. This is not me being foolish. If we all see the world in the same way, there is nothing.
There's nothing.
There's no growth. There's no...
Who wants to be all the same?
I don't want to be a copy.
No.
I don't want to be... And that doesn't make me contrarian.
No.
That just makes me ask questions. I'm just like, I'm curious about... I didn't mean to cough in the microphone, but I'm curious about like why someone said this thing or why someone thinks this is the right thing. And it's like, I believe that they, in their heart, a lot of times believe that they're right.
Correct.
But when they explain it to you, it's like, oh, you really didn't think about this too much.
I always tell people, put it on a whiteboard. If you can't put it on a whiteboard analytically, it's your feelings. And feelings...
Okay, fair.
If feelings...
You can't disregard feelings. Otherwise, you're an automaton. You don't want to be a robot.
No, but what I'm saying is that, okay, whatever subject you want. Should we have universal health care? Okay, how many people? How many hospitals? How much is it going to cost? What are we going to take? How's the government? Then how many people are going to be employed by the government? So that trickle down effect is like, okay, for every dollar, federal government gets it, state government gets it, the insurance company gets it. We're taking $1 out of everybody, and the people that receive the health benefits get 30 cents. Let's put it on a whiteboard. Let's do the arithmetic.
Do the math, yeah.
Let's do it. Okay, yeah, but everybody should have it. Well, then let's invite the whole world over here and everybody work. Nobody get an iPhone and spend all our money on health insurance. Because if you really care about everybody, then you have to take care of the whole world.
Right.
Can we do that?
I think most of the time, no.
No.
Probably 99.9% of it. There's always exceptions to the rule.
In fantasy land,
yeah.
In utopia, which is a magical garden, doctors would grow on trees, Band-Aids would go on trees, incubators would be, everything could go on trees. But however, there's only a limited amount of resources. You use it towards X or Y.
See, I look at it as...
but it's true or not?
You're 100% right.
There you go.
And I look at it as like, I try to make it as simple as possible because like the web is so complicated to figure that out. So my main concern would be like in that specific scenario, outcomes. Are people net positive better? And what I think, and what hold on. No, can I finish my thought?
Yeah.
And what I think is with all those other things that and I think all those things go into the equation, and I think that at the end of it, it's a net negative in your equation, because all the when it's just like the not. Remember Tough Mudder? There was a time when it was like everybody wanted to do this like competitive running, jumping through the woods.
Oh,
and it was like for charity and all this shit. Yeah. And then you read the fine print and you're like, only 2% of proceeds go to the actual, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like I'm going, I thought my charitable dollar, like you're telling me that I gave you $100 and $2 is going to like wounded warriors,
right?
Or, you know, veterans, or you know, the impoverished.
Yes.
And no one reads the fine print.
That's why I hate socialism.
Because, okay, I think that's fair.
Because that's what happens in socialism, in communism. And that's why I fight for the free market. I hate to be called capitalism because that came from the communist word, because to capitalize on other people's misfortune. It's the free market. I love freedom. Okay. And you sit there and
when you say free market, you say like if you're a chain restaurant and you make food that poisons people, the market will go, we are not shopping there anymore because you poison people.
Yeah, there's an extreme thing, poisoning. Yeah. But no, yes, 100%.
Or a car that like the wheels fall off.
100%. Yeah. 100%. You know, it's John Adams, the invisible hand will always work. Always work.
Very few regulations.
Very few.
Yeah.
Very few.
Yeah.
Because if it's a regulation that does poison, there's a judicial system to put them in jail. Then you have to have the judicial system to make sure the punishment outweighs the crime so nobody else will do it. That's the problem.
Unlike the casinos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We'll pay the fine on the tax money that we're supposed to give to the state of Pennsylvania.
Exactly.
It's way cheaper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if the judicial system and we were safe in this country, a lot of other stuff would take care of itself. But because of the ideology of a certain group it's a revolving circle, we can't be safe. And then if we can't be safe, what kind of society do we have? But getting back to the socialism, and like all the illegals coming over, okay? I have probably about 780 credit score, okay? Mm-hmm. I make about six figures, okay? Mm-hmm. I'm a paycheck to paycheck guy. I have diabetes, as everybody knows. Well, the people that know me, like in the political thing.
TJ has diabetes, in case you didn't know.
In the last 4 years, I've lost, 3.5 toes. I'm losing another one Monday. No big deal.
It is a big deal, TJ. It bothers. Like, you shouldn't get pieces of you. You know what I mean?
But it is what it is.
Me.
But in this analogy, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
This point of reference. When I first started in the company I work now, I wasn't a paycheck to paycheck guy. The only thing that difference is I started losing toes. Okay. I started taking more medicine. Okay. So my grief with socialism and socialized medicine and illegals coming into this country, it's a supply and demand, and the hospitals will never lose. So what happened when I first went, I wasn't on any medication before I had diabetes. I had a lot of more disposable income. Since then, I've spent about probably $400, $500 a month on medicine. Okay. From everything. My co-pays in my insurance went from $20, they're $80. So every time I see a doctor, they're telling me don't go. I have to make a choice.
Yeah.
Okay. When I get to my doctors, I can't see them every week like I'm supposed to prevent open wounds from getting worse.
Yeah.
Why? Because of the influx of illegals that use the medical system. And then when I get there, they have a computer translator. So when someone translates, they have to stop their work. They got to call the translator. The translator gets on. It goes from the translator to her, back to her. You're losing labor resources where you could have checked in 3 people. You only checked in 1. Then when you go see the doctor has to get that. Instead of saying 3 people, 1. So now because I can only see a doctor every 2 to 3 weeks, And because my deductible went up because insurance companies are paying out the nose, I used to have a copay or a deductible of like $4 or $5 grand. It's 12 grand. And then they have loopholes for other things. I'm spending about 20 grand a year the last 3 years because of my medical issues. So socialized medicine, now, is it right for you to pay for my problems? Is it right for me to pay for illegals? Is it right? No.
So,
and again, am I a victim or am I victimized? Okay. You asked earlier.
It's a good distinction. It's an interesting distinction.
Okay. So in this point, what's the answer? And the answer is supply and demand. There's only so many doctors. There's only so many beds. There's only so many pharmacies. There's only so many things. And when you dump 20 million people into that, you're going to lose the quality and the quantity of resources. Okay? That's only one part of what about.
That's only one industry.
That's only one industry.
Yeah.
Housing, food. Why do you think food's so expensive? Because of the terrorists? If you had 20 million people wanting less of the food, that's demand, supply and demand. Economics 101. It's an equilibrium price. So where supply and demand meet makes the price. If you had less demand, what would happen? The price will go down.
Same thing with like, I have these 1,000 t-shirts of, Hillary 2016. I can't drop them. So we're going to sell them for $1.
Or some don't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's, some of the things why I'm polarizing.
But that's basic math.
Whiteboard.
Yeah, so do you think, like in the healthcare example, do you think that's a bug or a feature?
What do you mean?
Like, in other words, like what was the study that was just that most, like 60% of most Americans don't have enough money for $1,000 emergency.
I don't. I have credit cards.
So if take away all the politics, take away all the media, and you go, okay, it's harder to live right now than it was. There's less quality of care than there was. There's less quality of life than there was. There's less quality of education than there was. There's less utilities than there was. Like, at what point do people go like, fuck the politics, like, read the fine print? What is going on? Why is it that way? Like, what decisions were made? Whose hands getting greased?
But then
you see what
that's politics.
But okay, but the point is like, to just step back and ask that question, you can just say that like objective reality is false, because you can't answer those questions. I mean, you can, but the way you answer it is like this tangled web of like mistakes over decades and like all this crazy shit. But like, when you can't, when a society sees the quality of life and all those things diminish, isn't it not their responsibility to say pause,
unless they're
time out,
or unless they're the ones that fucked it up in the first place?
The society?
Yes. When did the educational system start to go bad? Jimmy Carter, when he nationalized it, statistically on the whiteboard.
The Department of Education?
Yes.
I agree. I kind of agree with that.
Okay. That's why you can't take politics out of it. Okay.
No. I'm just saying, like, just to make a simple assumption, like a simple equation.
It's not.
It's not better.
No, it isn't. But but you have to ask why. Why did TJ go to jail?
But that's the second question.
Yeah.
The first question is the realization that something's wrong.
Yeah.
The second question is why.
Exactly.
And that's for some people, that is a very long pursuit.
Yes, but it is for everybody, because there's so much wrong. There's so many different.
And nobody was paying attention. I don't think that the voting public,
no,
in the last 30, 40 years has really been paying attention about what's going on.
I think it was before that, because we had it so good in our country.
The illusion was good.
Well, I think what I've always said would always made America better than every other country. And I said this 30 years ago.
In jail.
No. Yeah,
Yeah.
40 years ago. It's the safest country, pretty much. Now you can pick up this island there, but the first world countries, the bigger countries, we're the safest. We don't have people on the corners watching us. Why is that? Because we have 2 borders, 2 oceans.
Yeah, we're landlocked. We're not landlocked.
We're safe.
We are landlocked. We're protected.
We were safe.
Yeah.
What has stopped us from being safe? The influx of migration. 9/11. Okay, now I know, I know this white guy that blew up this. Yes. However, that doesn't stop the facts that culturally speaking, in safety ways, just because we have internal issues, we shouldn't take external and compound them at a higher equation.
Yeah, so it's like, and I always try to find like these reductive ways to look at it so I can simply understand. It's like, okay, there's a problem in the family. Why the fuck are we bringing in outside problems before we deal with the family? The unit's not going to be good.
Yeah, it's. I believe in that. Our country, the problem that's happening is that we are not safe anymore. We're not.
I think you can objectively prove that to some degree.
Statistically also.
And then we get to the second question. Why?
Because we took God out of the schools. I'm going to go to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to me. We
took Fitzgeraldville?
No. This is the United States.
Okay.
Number 1, we took God out of the schools.
Now, when you say God, you don't mean like just God in general, not a Christian God.
Christian God.
Okay, you think Christian?
100%.
Okay, all right.
I think that there are other religions out there that are passive religion, Buddhism, Hinduism. There's other good religions out there.
Mm-hmm.
Islam, no. In the Quran, it does say to kill the infidel. I mean, you do have a high segment of them that are dangerous.
I think it's not compatible with Western culture.
No.
And I think that's a very simple thing to understand.
And they, it's just too much. It's just such a percentage of them being violent and hating Christians. And that was America. We were all Christians.
Yeah, when you say,
you asked me what the problem was. I'm telling you what it is.
Well, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to be like, okay, there are people that would get upset at that comment.
I don't care.
I understand.
It's the truth.
I understand that you don't care. I think, and I'm not defending or denying anything. I think that there are, just like every group, there are exceptions to that rule.
Of course.
I think there's a large preponderance of it. We think of like, look, I said this. I did an interview with a guy a couple of weeks ago. It was for like some sort of study, and he wanted to understand culture and stuff up here. And I kind of said to him, I said, we started talking about like changing demographics, and I said, if I said my buddy's from the Congo. I said, what would the Congolese people think if all of a sudden all these white people were brought into their country? And they started taking up all the resources that they have very little of. And they started getting preference over them.
Yeah.
I said, do you think the Congolese people would be okay? Like, that's not racism.
No.
That's just like, something's up.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
And I don't think that is like, to ask the question, I don't think is an irresponsible thing to do.
Changing their government, changing their culture. They would not be happy.
There are entire towns in this country that are literally Islamic. Like the council, the mayor, all the leaders.
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to prove a fact. When did immigration ever work for the indigenous? Did it work out for the Indians?
No.
The Mesopotamians?
No.
Anybody?
Yeah, mass migration never works out for the countries.
No.
Never.
No. So why after that, if the Indians could go back, they probably wouldn't have gave them turkey and beads or trade their country for beads. If they could go back in time,
they would have been like that island that no one can go to in the Indian Ocean, where they're like, they will fucking kill you if you walk on the beach.
Yeah. So why shouldn't we?
No, I agree.
You just said it.
You.
Never worked out for the indigenous people.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
So why should we go the way of the Indian?
I don't think we should.
So what do we do?
Well,
there's only two choices: on, off. Not until they're not water faucet.
No, I agree. Look, I agree about the immigration thing. I agree that it should be turned off. I believe that anybody, like we're talking about illegal immigration. That's like saying, well, illegal arsonist.
Hold on.
But the crime is still committed.
I don't want any immigration. And the thing of it is if you get someone coming over that is an awesome person, doctor, they're going to bring their family over. It's on or off. Fact. It can't help itself. So it's a binary question. We're only going to get the good people. How do you know that? You don't know what's in their hearts. You don't know their objectives. The people that came over for 9/11 came over legally. And they got their licenses to fly a plane legally. And they killed us.
Wow.
No, it happened. It's on the whiteboard.
I think there's a bigger picture for 9/11.
Well, I'm just saying. But if they weren't here, if we didn't let them in, it wouldn't have happened.
There's this guy named.
Yes or no?
I agree.
Done.
There's this guy named.
End of story.
There's this guy named Gad Saad. I don't know if you ever listen to him. He's a Canadian guy.
No, he's
and he calls it suicidal empathy. You know, where you feel your heart. It's like when your parents used to say your eyes are bigger than your stomach.
Yeah.
It's suicidal empathy.
Yeah.
I want to be a nice person to everybody.
Yeah.
At my own peril.
Well, they throw the guilt on us. You know, listen, it is what it is.
But you want to be okay. So let me ask you this.
Bring the Christian question on because I'm a Christian. Come on, bring it on.
Do you want good things for all people?
Amen. Yes.
Across the world, regardless of religion.
Yes. Jesus said, go unto him, spread the word. He didn't say bring him in and put him in your backyard.
I understand that.
Also, Jesus, before he was born, listened to the laws of the land as far as migration. There was a count. His father went and took him so he could be counted. And he was born where he was born because he listened to the migration, the immigration laws of the day. My Savior paid attention to the laws. So every church out there, they're hypocritical.
I agree.
Because they sit there and they go on to, and you're supposed to go. We're supposed to go to other countries and help them. Not be lazy and have them come to us.
Well, so that's kind of like my next observation is that, like, you know, you accept what you allow. Who allowed this? Who, like,
everybody.
And anybody who was against it was demonized.
Correct.
Anybody who was like, hey, do you think that like this math equals out to be a good thing? And everyone's like, shut up, don't do the math problem.
Yeah. And
now we're at where we're at. So I think the unfortunate thing about the immigration problem right now is, like, good luck putting the toothpaste back in the tube.
You can't
do it.
You don't want to.
And yes, are there really good people? But usually what happens is like these groups or these ideologies, what happens is they let in, you know, yeah, sure, it's probably 90% fucking decent people.
I believe
that 10% is so dangerous.
I believe the end game is this. I think the communists, the George Soroses of the world that want the implosion of the best country that ever was, the way to get rid of it.
He's already done it to other countries.
I know that. Here's the thing. How do you get rid of the guns? Because honestly, Nazi Germany, Russia, what they did was the first thing they could was demonize the people, took away their guns so they couldn't fight back, and then put them in concentration camps and killed them.
Yeah.
That's what they're looking to do in the United States. So
it's happened over and over again. It's not just a unique thing to
always
to Russia or Germany.
No. So what they have to do is get rid of our guns. So how do you get rid of the guns? Because
fear.
Okay, there you go. So if you bring 20 million, 4 million of them are MS-13, this, that. They're taking over. They bring fear. Remember, we were the safest country in the world at one time?
Yeah.
That's why America was so great.
Now we're one of the most dangerous.
Now you're building fear. Now you're building fear into people that believe in the Second Amendment. what they're doing is the school shootings, the this, the that, the leftists love this, because what they're doing is rational people that love our country, that are First Amendment, Second Amendment people, are eventually going to go, I can't take it anymore. Okay, take the guns.
Yeah.
Then they got us.
Yeah.
That's the problem. They're winning by us not stopping it. They want all these killings. They want it because the end game is communism. The end game is total control. You can't get it if we could fight back.
I think.
Do you get it?
No, I totally get that. And I think we have to stop using that word communism. I think because it's all oppression, no matter what it is, whether it's fascism, communism. I think it's all about not having your the ability for you to have free thought and protection.
And where do you get that under?
The Constitution. God.
Which is a free market system.
Yeah.
Checkmate. In Fitzgeraldville, everything revolves around rationalism and truth. That's why Fitzgeraldville's so cool. Okay? It goes by what is the truth, not your feelings. Not if you're going to call me a sexist, a racist, a this is, a that is. It's about putting it on the whiteboard and solving the problem to the best of our ability. And then they'll throw a monkey wrench and go, blah, 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 blah. I know this one and I know this one. I get it. Nothing's perfect. Nothing ever will be perfect. Okay? The devil's in this world. How do we make it as good as it can get is the answer. Not perfect. Because if you're looking to get perfect, they always have something against you. Well, this or well, that. I get it.
I look at it as
it's
the
better
pursuit.
than yours.
I look at it as the pursuit.
And that's
you're never going to reach some utopia.
And where is that? The pursuit of happiness?
I don't know the Bible.
In the Constitution.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I don't know. It's all from the whatever.
Yeah.
So let me ask you about when did you start getting active in
politically?
Yeah, because all of a sudden it was these NEPA Republicans, and then like the parties are not happy with
what happened.
Primarily,
something personal happened.
Okay, so this is the genesis of NEPA Republicans. Okay,
okay. What happened was, I got my insurance license so I could do bail bonds, and I got approved in every county to do bail bonds except for Luzerne. And the reason is a competitor of mine was connected. And they knew people that were in the executive branch, and they said, well, because of his history, he can't be there.
Yeah, but you did your time.
Oh, I did my time.
Yeah. So like, as far as I'm concerned, slate clean.
Slate clean.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was political. It was because of money. And the connected and the powers that be banned me from going into the prison. Took my livelihood away. And this was like during COVID and all. It started before COVID and then during COVID. Then I found out, oh my God, by accident, happens that, you know what? There's council meetings. Oh my God, the pen's mightier than the sword. So I could go protest.
So you didn't do it, and you were at protest before 2019?
No.
So you never?
No.
Okay.
No. So I was like, okay, how do I bring to the forefront the corruptness in Luzerne County? And then,
because it was personally affecting you.
And then what happened was a person in the party called the person in the executive branch after a while and said, listen, this guy, you got to hear a story, and they did. And they said, okay, we're going to do a interview. It was actually, won't mention names because I don't want to bring that in. We're not going to mention names. But anyway, a wrong was righted. I went in, interviewed me. Some of the stuff that was said about me was totally lie. And they realized, before that, roll back, we actually sued the county and they let me, we won. And a judge said, okay, you're allowed to do bails in the county. And then the jail wouldn't let me in because in the county is the legislative branch, and in the executive branch is different. One doesn't supersede the other. So I was able to do bails in the county, and I could do them at the court level, but I couldn't do them in the jail because I wasn't allowed in the jail.
For no reason?
They said because of my conviction. They said other reasons.
Your prior conviction that you were that you served your time for?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was really about money and connection. So I said, okay. And then I went against the person that got me the phone call and the person that righted the wrong. I went against that person. And then the head of the
like when you went against, does that mean like,
I didn't want
a disagreement?
That. No.
Was...
They were looking to be hired in a position of authority in the county. And I didn't think that person should be the authority in the county. So the person that did me a favor, or at least righted a wrong, I didn't think was the right person to be hired.
So a lot of people think that like, because we need to discuss loyalty for a moment.
That's exactly.
Okay?
That's exactly what it was.
So there's a lot of people that think because, you know, I scratch my back or I scratch your back, you scratch mine. Right?
And that's what they thought.
Do you
do
you operate that way?
No. Not at all.
So like if I help you move,
you do the right thing.
If I help you move, will you help me move?
No.
I mean, I've helped you move.
You're supposed to
You're
do
my friend.
Well, that's a friend thing.
So my point is like
no. You know what you do? You do.
It's not equivalent.
No. It's not equivalent because that's different. That's a friend thing. We're talking about a government position.
Who I did a thing for you, therefore.
It's a government position. It's a political position. You are paid to do the right thing. You're supposed to be above the pettiness and the corruption. And I have every right.
I don't care what anyone thinks. I'm just doing the right thing.
You should.
Yeah.
You should.
I don't care about the criticism. I don't care about
I don't care about getting reelected.
Yeah.
Do the
right
thing.
Yeah.
Right? Now, you and me, you know me. I offer to help everybody all the time.
I know.
I'll do whatever I can.
Yep.
Even the person that I didn't want to have this job, if that person called me and said, hey, I'm stuck on the side of the highway, I would. One thing doesn't have to do with the other. That's in Fitzgeraldville because I am a grown-up. Okay?
So you can separate the personal from the public.
My daughter says she's bisexual. Okay? My daughter, firstborn, who I love more than anybody in this world, and I have a great relationship with her. Mm-hmm. My daughter's going to hell as long as she's going because of my Christian belief. She doesn't get a pass because she's my daughter. She knows how I feel. We don't talk about it. I told her when she's ready to come to Christ, I'm here. We just don't deal with it. Okay?
And you're not trying to convert her.
No.
Yeah.
When she's ready, in God's time, not mine. I plant the seed. It's God that reaps it. Okay? Mm-hmm. So if I'm that way with my own child, why can't I be that with a stranger or a business person? One thing doesn't make you that you have to be loyal. Just because you help me do something, do I have to commit a crime with you? Loyalty? No. Where's the line?
There's a big line between corruption and injustice. You know what I mean?
Still,
like corruption is one thing. Like
injustice should be a crime.
But that's true too. Yeah.
Okay? You're taking an oath to serve the people, not your collective connected friends. That's the problem that the party has with me.
Parties. Well, I think.
Parties.
Yeah.
But my party hates me not because of my ideology. The Democrat party hates me because of my ideology.
Yeah, they hate you because they think you're all these things.
Right.
Yeah.
The Luzerne County Party and the connected people, because I'm taking their bread and butter. I don't want them to get contracts. I don't want them to call the manager and get their son a job. I don't want them to do kids for cash or get a deal because they know somebody. How dare I? How dare I mess with their bread and butter? That's the problem. They hate me because I want what's for the people in general. I want you to do stuff because it's the right thing to do, not because it's the right thing for you and your friends. I want people to get jobs based on
merit.
So I got the left hating me and also our own people because it's their buddies that are families that get in the jobs. How dare I?
Do you give a damn what race, color, creed, religion anybody is?
No, not at all. Not at all. You see who I hang out with.
Yeah, so if there was a blind resumes with no names or anything, you'd be like, if that's the right person, that's the right person.
Who hangs out with more black people at these events than anybody? You were at the thing. I had 2 black people at 3 at the Jamie Walsh event. The only black people that were there.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, I don't care about race. I only care about, are you trying to be a better person? Doesn't mean you have to be a better person now. Are you trying? Because I want to help you be a better person because it was hard for me. So I want to be an example, a mentor, a friend. I want to love you. I want to like you. So
do you think a lot of it has to do with like how the Constitution's written in Fitzgeraldville?
No, the Constitution I love.
No, I mean you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Where it's like. Do you think,
put Christianity?
But do you think people? I think you're highly misunderstood.
No,
I do.
No
one talks to you. Like no one has a conversation like this with you. Like I think
a lot of people do, just not the people that are connected.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean like the people that like the criticism is about, right? Which I don't think that like.
I think a lot of them don't want to have the conversation with me.
That's up to them. But at the end of the day, no, it's not happening.
No,
you need like just like you need 2 people to fight, you need 2 people to talk.
Yeah, I'm always willing to talk. I used to call them. I called.
Do you get upset?
Me? I get hurt.
So you
and then I get upset, but I don't get irrationally upset. I just know that, if they went after Jesus, they're going to go after everybody, including me. I know what I'm doing. All I want.
Do you think these are bad people?
No. I think they're bad doing selfish, self-centered, narcissistic stuff. And I think they would be better if they did it as a human being.
I agree. But do you think that they like it's all ego and insecurity and fear and all of these things? And it's like
being human.
Yeah.
Grow. Yeah. They need to grow up. They do. They got to stop saying,
like some things are like the mission is more important than like petty bullshit.
Yes.
That's what I always think.
Yes. I agree 100%. And we've talked about this.
Yeah.
However, like when Trump came, me and my group, we got probably since I started, I probably got about 3,000 people registered with me and my group.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. From Democrat to Republican.
And new voters too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been out to more events than the party times 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody knows that.
I didn't see the math, but I'm assuming you're right.
I'll show you the whiteboard.
Yeah, the whiteboard.
When Trump was running and Bresnahan and Garrity was running for treasurer, I got a spot at a fair. Thanks to Jamie Walsh. He goes, here's a fair. And I go, oh my God, perfect timing. Get me a booth up there.
Yeah.
I got over 1,000 petitions for Trump, 1,000 for Bresnahan, 1,000 for Stacey. Okay. I got some for Muser, but he was in the other district, not in the that night.
And you got petitions for them on the ballot, right?
On the ballot, to get on the ballot. That's a lot. No one's ever did those numbers. Nobody. I did it in a weekend. Okay. As far as getting out to vote, I have 10,000 people in my database now. I have probably 100 active volunteers. And you know what I tell them all? You know how I tell them who to vote for?
No.
Make up your mind yourselves. What you need to do is get all the information, meet them, ask them the questions, and then vote for the people you want, not me. That's why I have those events. So they get to meet the people. I'm going to tell you right now, you know who's a champion of the people? Dan Muser.
Okay.
Dan Muser has cursed at me. I love Dan Muser. He's a human being. He's a man. He's a man of the people. He says, TJ, but he sees the value of TJ Fitzgerald and also of NEPA Republicans. He realizes that he's a man of all the people, not just the connected, not just the TJs, of everybody. Alec Rittenhouse comes to me, okay? He's backed it, and they backed me financially. And I've put stuff on Facebook against Alec and Dan.
Like criticisms.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. When they were all at the inauguration, I was pissed. Because guess who got Trump elected? The connected and the rich? Or was it the volunteers that got the thousands of votes? And what happens is, the last time I got into it, that everybody hated what I said, was when the vice president came. I got a VIP ticket, okay? But I saw what was happening. And I was in line. And then all of a sudden, I was in line for 2 hours. And then all of a sudden, the elected officials, the people from the party, all the people with money came at the last minute, went ahead, and they got VIPs. And then inside, there was a wall, a line. And the cool kids, just like in high school, didn't like the cool kids. The cool kids got to sit up front. But yet all the people that were the volunteers and were there for 2 hours had to stand. Old ladies. I had a problem with that. I have a problem with that. And if I say it,
I think 35,000 foot view, a lot of people would have a problem with that.
What's that?
In other words, like if you look at it objectively from a distance,
yeah, but
I think everyone would have a problem with that.
Nobody has see, the thing is, I have a platform to call them out. That's their problem.
Because people don't like criticism?
Because they want to get away with whatever they could get away. They could have the steaks and the lobster and they want to give us the scraps. I'm here to say no more. We're not taking the scraps. I've been saying it for time. We're at we want to be at the big table and we want a voice. We're not going to vote for people just because you have an R after your name. You need to earn the vote. Okay? Mm-hmm. Just because we're Republicans, you're not going to tell us who to vote for. You got to earn our vote. You got to come to our meetings, not just the tea and crackers, and we'll have people that will give you $1,000 check.
Yeah, because you'll go to the union meetings and you'll go to all the things, but you won't go to the people who are out there knocking doors and getting you signatures. And you got to go to those meetings. Yeah, those are probably more important.
Yeah, Dan Muser comes. Rob Bresnahan comes. Stacey Garrity comes. Okay. Jamie Walsh comes. Alec Rittenhouse comes. Dane Watrow comes sometimes. He's good. Brenda Pugh doesn't. Okay. You find out where people's alliances is and what their character is. And that's what I put out there.
What are the basic, you and I, you said this to me once. What's the basic tenets of the NEPA Republicans for people that don't know? It was freedom of speech.
First Amendment, Second Amendment, parental rights, border security, and election integrity.
And I said to you, those are things everyone should agree with.
Correct.
Regardless of party.
Correct. And now.
And so just to clarify, those are if everybody had to sign like some sort of pledge, that would be the 5 things that they sign on the pledge, and everything else is negotiable.
To a point.
Correct.
To a point, yes.
But those 5 things are non-negotiable.
They're non-negotiable. They're absolutes.
Yeah.
So you not only can you not vote against them, you need to be a proponent for them.
Okay.
You need to, if there's, I want, Jamie's and Dane and Brenda and Alec. I want them to do everything they can at the state level. And I don't want to hear, well, the Democrats and blah, 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 they have a majority and even if I did the work, it's not going to work. Screw that. Fight the good fight for the people. Get a thing. Get out there. Go protest. Get the people out there. Because you know what? Until we have election integrity, we have a banana republic. Until we get back to paper, dating one day, you could cheat the system. You could put anything on a computer. You could push P, and down below it says Q. You can't trust a computer. Until we got to get away from computers. But what I'm saying is
for elections.
For elections. So where we're going is now we're starting to getting a little bit bigger, like with the county council.
And also I just want you to know I'm highly ignorant of all the machinations of what goes down in south of us. I'm still, because we're in Lackawanna County right now. Yeah.
What happens is what they don't like me because I'm putting stuff out there. They don't like that. They don't want me to pull back and show that Oz isn't this big thing. It's a little dopey
It's a guy behind a curtain.
Behind a curtain.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the problem. So the people that are connected, that every time you go to a political event, they've taken over the party for the last 100 years. It's their party. How dare I?
Right.
That's the hate. Because I am changing things where they're more accountable and they don't want to be locally. The problem is in the local politics more so than the federal.
Yeah, I always tell people, I'm like, I ask people, they have no idea who their local elected officials are. And I'm like, those are the people that screw you.
Yeah.
Those are the people that you're not paying attention to. You're focused on like Trump.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing?
Well, that's the big picture.
Yeah, but like locally,
yeah,
you're getting screwed. You're getting like, look at these data centers. How many of them are going through without anybody having any information about them? How many are getting approved?
Well,
I'm just using that as an example to be like,
I agree.
No one knows.
I agree, and
whether they're blissfully ignorant.
Yeah,
I'm assuming it's blissfully ignorant because they can't be. Well, I always say never underestimate people's ability to be stupid, but I don't. There's no. When you increase the noise,
yes,
it's harder to see the signal. And I think that's what's happening to a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's a real injustice for people to be lied to.
Correct.
And I think without any consequences.
Correct.
I think truth is love. I think love is truth.
What did you say? Injustice versus what did you say 10 minutes ago? That I said that isn't injustice is illegal? Is that what it was?
It was something like injustice or criminality, something like that. Yeah. What's the difference?
There is none.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is. It's just a nicer word. Injustice is it's criminal.
Yeah.
It's either just or not. It's it.
And we used to, as a society, have a shared definition of that.
Because we've got people that can manipulate words.
Words are very important. Words are very important. How they're used, what is said, what specific words.
But it's manipulation. Like the people that are in power are usually the people that are better educated and they're masters at manipulation.
They do fancy hand moves and distract you, and they're like, and then all of a sudden you're like,
you get kicked in the shin.
Yeah, it's like I hear people like they like sometimes I'll talk to somebody in business and they're like, they describe a person, they're like, I walk into the meeting, I don't want to do anything that they want me to do, and then I leave the meeting and I'm like, how the fuck did I just agree to everything I don't want to do?
Because the path of least resistance, people are trained to be polite in our society. They're trained to go along to get along. I wasn't.
No shit.
That's why.
You might be the needle in the haystack.
That's why I love that I had a hard life. God sharpened me to fight this fight. I believe that in all my heart. I used to cry. When I told you when I used to wish death, I used to cry and I look up at God and oh God, take me. I go, why? Why me? I said that my whole life. I always say, God, this is your plan, God. I can't wait to kick you in the shin. I wish I had the Paris Hilton plan. Me fighting makes my life worthwhile. Because then why did I go through all that? Why? Why did I go through all that for nothing? To be here with you today, to help people that can't fight for themselves or are ignorant to the fact of what's really going on. I mean, there's a girl, Kelly, that that's doing a documentary. Have you ever met her?
Oh, Kelly DeSoyne.
Yeah,
I can't say her last name.
I love her.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, can you trust her? I'm like,
I try talking to her. I think she thinks that I don't know what she thinks, but like I've tried to.
Yeah.
Maybe put in a good word because I think what she's she's trying to be. I think
she's trying to be
as objective as possible.
I definitely think that she's more of a libertard like my daughter, but with a good heart like my daughter, that's open-minded and gets it. I mean, she called me when she found out that I got into a fight. She asked me. She called me. I love her. I mean, she's a great woman. I mean, like it's funny because
she's probably what most would consider from a distance somebody you would not align with.
No.
That you would not have in your back seat.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
But I get along with a lot of people on a humanistic level.
Yeah.
With people. But you know what? She's trying to get out the message and oh God, I usually can come right back on track.
You were talking about Kelly.
I know, but right before Kelly.
You said there's a woman doing this documentary, Kelly.
And I told her months ago, and this is not to be anything dramatic or anything. I said, you know, I'm doing this for right. She goes, aren't you worried? Are you in fear? I go, yeah. Yes, I am. But they win. I've thought about quitting a lot. I've talked to you about quitting.
Yeah.
I don't want people to hate me or dislike me, because what do I want? To be loved.
Keep going.
But what do I do? Quit? I'm the tip of the spear.
Yeah. If not me, who?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
my wife said it to me the other day, and I never really realized it, because there's, you know, remember before I said I'm a 93 Democrat, which now makes me a fascist?
Yes.
And when I grew up, I remember the ACLU. I remember the stories of the ACLU defending the Nazi parade in like Wisconsin or Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And the lawyer was, if I'm not mistaken, he was a concentration camp Jew.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, I don't agree with these people at all, but they have the right to do it.
I know.
And for some reason, and that look, somehow that went from like, okay, a bunch of assholes can have a parade, versus to the assholes can no longer have a parade.
Yeah.
You can no longer talk about it. You can no, and it's not to say that like we should give Nazis parades. It's to say that like, if you let it stop, if you shut it down for them, who else gets shut down? Who else can't have a parade? Who else can't speak? Who else can't have an opinion? Who else can't say something?
Then you have fascism.
Right. So this is like,
by stopping fascism, you get fascism.
Right. So I don't think, I don't want to, as a matter of fact, I'm like, let everybody speak.
Yeah.
And you know, my wife said to me the other day, it was, I've luckily kept her from watching the Charlie Kirk assassination.
I haven't. I won't. It might bring
terrible.
It might bring out an ugly side of me.
It was terrible. Don't ever watch it. Don't ever.
I don't need
just
to.
Imagine. Just take it from me. It's terrible. Yeah. It's fucking terrible. But it was the first time that like she looked at me, and just from this, I didn't talking like this.
I didn't see the stabbing of the girl either. I saw the aftermath of her looking.
I saw it was fucking terrible. TJ. It was terrible.
I mean,
it was fucking.
I don't like watching the shootings, because honestly, the Christianity comes out. The devil gets in. When I see those things, the devil's winning, because then all of a sudden the hate comes in my heart, and I don't want to hate.
It's a visceral reaction. It's a totally understandable one. To be angry.
But when you know, it's like then the hate comes in, and then the devil's winning. We have to beat these people with law, with justice. Okay, we could love them, but we still need justice. That's how we beat them. We need rules. We need to close our borders. We got to stop allowing. Again, we need a Christian society again. I don't think everybody needs to be Christian, but you know what?
The baseline is that.
The Constitution's built on Christianity. You know what?
As many people say it doesn't. It isn't. If I'm not mistaken, every state at the time, almost every state.
Charlie Kirk did a great thing on.
Yeah, this. I think I've seen that, and it was like every state in their own state constitutions had you had to swear allegiance to God.
Yeah.
You know, and if
as a Christian,
if the Constitution is, if you're an atheist, right, and you don't believe that the Constitution was given to you by God, that's fine. Right. It doesn't change anything. But the government is supposed to protect.
But as an atheist, you could say it came from Christians.
I totally understand that. but you can't but everyone believes in the moral code. Like that's the thing that I've noticed about like every country around the world, even like the poor ones, or the ones that haven't seen a power line in their lives. Right. They all understand the value of life.
Except for where
I don't know.
The
There's
Middle
like 200
East.
Well, they're a little bit.
I'm just saying in general. Okay.
They're a little bit.
Okay. And
Yeah, but it depends. Like it's not because
and what religion is the one that wants to kill everybody?
You know, I was listening to. Do you know who Tommy Robinson is?
Yes.
Okay, so I believe today is the day where they're doing the big march in Britain, like take Britain back, whatever. Yeah. And he said, I watched him on an interview like 2 weeks ago, and it was fascinating to me because I never realized this. He goes, we checked. The first person to say that Islam is a religion of peace was George W. Bush. We can't find anyone saying it prior to that. And I kind of went, that's impossible. That's impossible. And then I went and looked and I'm like, holy shit. The first person to say that was George Bush. The same person who was down at 9/11 say, I hear you, and the people that did this will hear you soon enough, that brought on war, that killed millions of Iraqis, millions of Afghanis. God knows what happened in Syria, Lebanon. They killed their own leaders there. Mm-hmm. And that's the same guy. It's like, it's a religion of peace. Then why the fuck are you killing all their people?
It's not.
You know?
It's not.
I just don't like the lies.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that it is conducive with our way of life.
No.
Because it's subjugation.
It is.
Their entire religion is based on subjugation and oppression.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that there isn't good people in that religion. It doesn't mean that like...
Why do you have to say that?
Because...
Just end it with...
Because I want it to be incredibly specific.
Okay, end it with that.
Yeah, but there's terrible Christians.
I didn't say that. We're going with percentages. Okay, I said that earlier in our conversation. I get it. There's white people like Timmy McVeigh. We do have people that are born in this country.
That's another thing that I'm really skeptical on now.
But what I'm saying is that yes, but it's like a roulette. I always say it's like a roulette thing. If I'm going to play a roulette, I'm not betting on green. There's only 2 spots for green. I think it's 36, half black, half red. I'm not betting on green. So I'm not going to say that for the 2 times it'll land on green, I'm going to accept all Muslims in my country. I get it keeps land on green. I get the 2 green are different than the red and black. But when the red and black enormously overpower the 2 green, I don't want to play roulette.
I mean, it is like it, if you look at it,
it's not worth it.
If you look at it 500 years in the future, you'd look back and you'd say that we were invaded.
I said it while ago.
Because when you're in the moment, you don't see it. A lot of people don't see it.
Neither did the Indians. Neither did anybody they don't say it until it's too late.
So we're not stating the obvious because it's inconvenient or it's hurtful.
I don't care.
I know you don't care, but I'm talking about like society as a whole. Yeah, like, is it a cultural thing? Is it a societal thing? Like, are we so polite that we're accepting terrible things?
Yes,
we don't
because
want to offend anybody?
Yes, because our Christian leaders always pick the parts of the Bible they like the most. Turn the other cheek. Turn the other cheek. Well, I hate to tell you this, but Jesus got mad.
He flipped the tables.
Okay. Now, if you want to rip the Bible up, the Old Testament, they had wars. So if you're a Christian, apparently you're not a person of Abraham. I hate to tell you this, but Jesus was a Jew. He still is. Jesus believed in the Old Testament. Okay? The Old Testament is nothing but wars. It is about the people, and we should learn from that. It says in the Old Testament that you can't let come in because bad things will happen.
Yeah.
It will. I mean, it doesn't mean, like you said, that everybody's bad. No, we're not saying that. We're just saying it is what it is. Do you want to be safe? Yes or no?
Yes.
As safe as possible?
Yes.
Then we got to get rid of every illegal immigrant and stop immigration. And then get back to...
A moratorium or...
No. Forever. We don't need anybody. We don't need anybody to pick our strawberries. Here, I love talking to libertards about this. You're going to be the libertard. I'm going to be the conservative, okay? What do they say? If we get rid of all the Mexicans, we won't pick strawberries, right?
Who's going to pick your food? Who's going to bag your groceries? Who's going to clean your hotels?
Okay.
Who's going to clean your house?
Let's just go with one thing.
Yeah.
The strawberries in California.
Yep.
Okay. You hate capitalism, free market, right?
Yeah.
I love free market. So what happens? Let's say every Spanish person leaves the strawberry business and they get $10 million to move back to their country of origin.
Mm-hmm.
They move. They got $10 million. They can live like kings. They move. Do we cease to eat strawberries?
No.
What happens?
We figure out a way.
How do we figure out a way? I already got the answer.
I'm assuming
what you do.
Wage.
There you.
Or necessity.
No, it's the wage. Now all of a sudden those pricks that are the capitalist pigs that own the strawberry industry that you say don't pay a fair wage has to do what?
Pay a fair wage.
Oh my God.
Because we want to sell strawberries.
Because you want to sell strawberries. Now maybe you might not make $2 million at the end of the year. You might make $1 million.
Still good.
Is the guy going to shut the strawberry fields down?
No.
So what's going to happen is they're going to put a paper in the paper. Now paying $15. Nobody shows. What happens?
Now paying 20.
It doesn't happen. Now what?
25.
There you go. Now all of a sudden, all the people on unemployment, the black people, the poor people, all these people that you say that the free market hates, they get better jobs. Now all of a sudden they take their families there. They're able to afford to get good education. They get self-esteem, self-worth because they're no longer on unemployment.
Purpose.
Now all of a sudden they can afford stuff because that son of a bitch capitalist is paying a good wage to an American. Okay. And then instead of that money going to Mexico or anybody else, it stays in America. And then it's spent on American goods and not other goods. And it doesn't get diluted because they do send money across the border. It helps their country. Hurts ours. It deflates the dollar.
Yeah.
So by getting rid of them, now we also have the medical. Now the housing. They don't have housing. What happens to the housing? There's a higher supply of housing. What does that do to the equilibrium price?
Lower the price.
Oh my God. Now that $25 an hour job can afford the housing. And that guy has a job. And now he doesn't have to get divorced from his wife. And then if the kid has like me that didn't have a dad, has a dad.
Yep.
Fitzgerald in the whiteboard works. It's not about the lies they tell us. We don't need anybody in this country. We have enough intelligent people in this country to build railroads, to invent,
fix infrastructure,
everything.
Yeah.
So you're telling us that we're stupid in this country. We need somebody from another country.
Import our doctors because we can't have doctors.
We have the best educational system, but we need someone from another country. In one ear, out the other, out one side of your mouth, out the other. It's all politics. It's all corruption, and it's got to stop. You want to solve our country, you do this. Thank God we're getting rid of the educational system. You let the people locally decide. You let the parents go to the school they want. You bring back God into the family. You bring the family back. And then Uncle Sam doesn't have 20 tits that people are milking off of. You actually have to be nice to your mom and dad. You're in fear of your dad. If you do something wrong, he'll crack your ass. Your neighbor could crack your ass because your dad usually lets neighbor crack your ass.
When I grew up, the neighbors were allowed to hit the kids.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Then you bring, get back to school. You say a pledge of allegiance. They took that out of the school. There's your nationality. You'll start having pride back in America. Okay. You start doing that. You start bringing back the value system that make America great again. That's what it means. It's not racial. That's what makes America great. Christianity and the family. That's what made it great. And this way, maybe one person can afford a job because the wages aren't diluted by illegals. So maybe dad or mom, whoever wants to go to work, could get a higher wage and one person could stay at home and be the mother and father that God made us do. You know what? The best part about my stepdad, not everything was bad. My mother stayed at home. The best part about my stepdad was I grew up around everybody else that had the nuclear family. That's what I wanted to get to earlier. All my friends had the nuclear family. All my friends were Catholics. All my friends had dinner with their parents. All my friends have better lives today than I do. That's why I believe in the nuclear family. Not because I had one. Because everybody I know had a bad, yeah, but I know this one guy that had a nuclear family and he doesn't have, again, the roulette table. When you have the nuclear family, it's black and red. Few people land on green. Fitzgeraldville, the board, let's write these things. It all goes back to intelligence. It goes back to rationality. It goes away from your feelings, away from guilt, away from manipulation from the powers to be. It gets back to facts. The fact is we were better off one parent staying at home, raising a kid. Fact, we were better off in a Christian society. Fact, we're better off without illegals. That's it.
You know, I had a girl on my podcast, and she's a hardcore, well, she thinks she's a hardcore liberal. She probably is. And one of the most fascinating things that she said during that was she goes, honestly, I just want to stay home and raise babies. And I'm like,
just without a man.
Yeah. Why? But they want it. She wants a man. It's just like, I don't know why. Something's for another podcast, but like, I agree with 99% of the things that you said.
Yeah.
I think we can't discount some of the external factors that play into that, such as like,
again, it's never going to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect.
Yeah, I think
as good as it gets.
It's the constant pursuit.
Constant pursuit.
Yeah, you're never going to be never going to be an amazing person, but as long as you pursue it.
Everything I said would make our country safer and better. Fact, not feelings. Facts, not I know.
For everybody who's legally in America,
I know illegal. A lot of my friends they go, TJ, what would you do to a guy that's in washing dishes? Gone. He's taking a job from another person. And you know what? You don't need to make $1 million a year.
Off a dishwasher.
Off a dishwasher.
Yeah.
That job could have been to a kid that went to college. You know what? You know what makes me tear up? These older people that have to work at Walmart.
Oh, it's fucking insane.
I care about them. I care about tax. I hate that older people get taxed. Like in our county government, they're giving orders to rich people. Like they're going to give these orders to that
data centers,
the data center, but they won't give a tax advantage to a person 62. They worked their whole lives. Why? These people on council don't care. They're connected. They're giving their buddies jobs. That's why I don't care if you have an R or a D after your name. I don't. Locally. Because you're not, it's not the First Amendment, Second Amendment, parental rights, border security, election integrity, but their hands are tied locally because the election board has it. The council has nothing to do with it. They could have done something. They could have stopped the funding. They could have told someone to take those machines and throw them in the Susquehanna, but they don't have the balls to do it. If I was a council member, I'd be like, listen, that needs electricity all year long. Oh, it has to be housed? Sell that place. Put them out in the street. Let the rust get them. And then let's go back to paper ballots. Well, you can't do that. What do you mean you can't? Yes, you can. You won't. Have some balls. Have some integrity.
It's the most, that and mail-ins are the most dishonest because there's so many opportunities to be deceitful.
Yeah. I testified in Congress when there was Papergate. Me, Jamie, and Ben.
I didn't see. I saw Jamie's. I didn't see you guys. You'll have to send me that. I'd love to see that. Yeah. I'd love to see you guys testifying.
Yeah,
I might have somebody on that was intimately involved.
It was really good because it was like you had me, Jamie being a politician before the politician, and Ben was the educated, like the facts.
Yeah,
it was really a great dynamic, and it was, and then, when I came back and I was like telling people about mail-in ballots, and I always go, all right, the reason why we have vote in person is because when you vote in person, you could go behind a blind. Why don't you let couples go in? You're right. When you get a ballot in person, what if it's an abused woman and the man loves Trump? You don't. Vote for Trump. The guy goes, sign. There's no integrity. What happens if it's a bunch of gangs going down the hall?
What do you mean?
Let's say it's in a project and they want their person to be elected.
Oh yeah, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
That happens around here.
So
we all know it does. We all know it does.
But if you go to a place that only you are privy,
and you alone,
you could tell them all day long. My daughter promised me that she wouldn't vote. First time she voted, I said, please, you know how I am. I'm your dad. I said, I pay your bills. I said, do me a favor. As my daughter, please don't vote for Hillary or Biden. She said, okay, I won't. You know what she did? She voted for Biden. She told me the truth. Thank God. I respect her a lot for that. I said, how could you nullified my vote for everything I do? I said, you have a right, but are you educated? Why are you voting? Why? And it just was, I just felt like it.
That's a terrible reason to do that.
I know.
We lost civics.
I know.
We don't understand. What was the old thing? It was like Democrats don't want civics taught in school because they're afraid their kids are going to be Republican. Republicans don't want civics taught in school because they're afraid their kids are going to be Democrat. And I don't think that's true. I think everybody needs to know how the process works.
Yeah. And not only that, you need to learn what they stand for. First Amendment, Second Amendment.
1,000%. I don't give a fuck.
I want you to put your platform on writing, on the web, how you're going to vote. Well, I want to stay away from the abortion thing. Why? Say it.
Yeah, I'm against it. I don't care.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
It's always a margin. It's always the margins are the ones that change it. Like, it doesn't matter. The whole point of this is why I wanted you here, and we're pushing 2.5 hours.
Oh, wow.
Part of the thing of debate is, and conversation is like, I didn't realize this until a couple of years ago that debates would last for days.
Yeah.
They would last for days. And you have to argue your point. Are your ideas better? If they are, why? If you don't think this person's ideas are better and yours are, why?
Yeah.
Explain it to me. And we can't do that in 6-second sound bites and 90-minute fucking debates.
That's why we have the negative advertising.
It's gross. It's ugly. And look, I'm in it. The only reason they do it is because they think it'll suppress the vote.
Correct.
It doesn't mean anything.
No.
It's just a fucking psyop.
Honestly, the mailers don't work anymore. Nobody cares.
I don't think so either.
They're a waste of time.
I think so.
The only people that benefit are the marketing people. The door knocking.
The whole industry.
The door knocking with the things.
TJ, it's every 6 months.
It's every 6 months.
Yeah, May, June, every year. May, June. May, November.
Do you really think the multi-billion companies that work for the Democrats and the Republicans want an election that is one-sided? No, they want a 50-50 because you need them. They're selling the same programs to both parties.
Sure, totally.
The same data. It's like, and the one guy's going, hey, I got this data, and then I got this data. You need the data, and we're both buying the data, and they're laughing at us
because it's the same fucking thing.
I keep on telling Republican parties, throw it away, start door knocking, start having the events, come to my events, talk to the people, inspire the people to say what you stand for. Then instead of 30%, 60%. If you tell your values and there's enough people that have the same values of you, you will win every time. They're too afraid to break away from the tit of these big marketing companies that take hundreds of millions of dollars.
I never got that. I'm usually, when I help candidates, it's always like, I probably won't be able to eat.
No,
because I care. And I care.
And honestly, not because you're here. I want them to reinvest their money to the volunteers.
Great. They should be paid. If they're out knocking doors and they're out fucking handing out literature and they're out doing they should the D's pay them.
Yeah.
Why don't the R's? The R's think everything's charity.
It's changing. Dan Muser And Alec Rincavic has seen the value. Now, you know how polarizing I am. Alec Rincavic.
Just that to me.
I
like you.
You were at Alec Rincavic's event.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people that did not like me at that event.
Really? I went up and hugged you. Fuck them.
But
fuck them.
Exactly. But after Alec thanked his team, his mother's father's girlfriend, who did he thank for helping him last year? TJ Fitzgerald and NEPA Republicans. You want to know why? We had multiple door knocking for him. We had, when the ballot came, Tim Cabbage or Cabbage, I had 35 people at my office 4 weeks in a row, making sure we got the mail-in. We almost tied the Democrats for mail-in. Don't tell me we need these marketing companies. We need people. People are better than marketing companies. That's why they hate me.
Because you're a threat to the
status quo.
Well, to the engine.
Yeah.
I think that you should be incredibly proud about what you do. I think you should be incredibly proud of where you got. I'm always going to be the guy though that's going to be like, we got to talk.
Yeah.
And as long as the mission's the same.
Yeah.
This is why I don't think you're an asset to the Republican Party in Luzerne County.
I know that.
But
I think they know it too, but they just don't want to admit it.
Yeah, but what's the worst? What's the worst thing that could happen? I tell the people, I told some of the Republicans up here, I'm like, I said, you have a group of grassroots people that you think is trying to take over your party. They're not. They just want you to do the right fucking thing. They're willing to go out there and do all the shit that you're not willing to do. Knock doors, hand out literature, sit around for registrations, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? They don't want to do the shit that you do.
Yeah.
It's a perfect fucking marriage.
The only thing why they'll never, because we expect them.
Because there's accountability.
No, because they want their guy elected. Like earlier today, I asked, why did they pick that guy?
Yeah.
It's always their guy. Instead of getting up people to have town halls and debates and have a vote for the people.
I don't personally.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
Out of the candidates that were put up.
Yeah.
I think he's the best. That's just me.
Yeah.
Right.
But why should your opinion matter more than somebody else's?
It shouldn't.
No, that's my point.
Yeah.
That's
so
why. That's why my
system.
So
the idea of
that's why
he's the guy for the fucking.
Well, they picked him.
I think I would have picked him.
Doesn't matter what you think. Doesn't matter what I think.
I'm just saying,
it doesn't matter what I think. It's what the people think. So what we have to do.
The other ones didn't get votes.
By who? By people in power.
Well, I mean, so here's the argument that Shermack makes, right? About so we're doing a special election up here and everything. And the whole the people are going to speak. And Chris is like, well, no one's getting a choice. You're getting whoever the party's put up.
Who's the party?
I understand that.
We could go around this bush all the time.
I understand that. And that was his point. He's like, if it's honestly for the people, you don't let the parties choose who the fucking candidate is.
Never.
Right? And that's Chris's argument.
Yeah.
He's like, so you want free and fair, let the people decide?
Correct.
It's not free and fair if the parties are deciding who the candidates
Correct.
are. And that's
Correct.
Chris's stance. And I appreciate that. I respect that position.
Correct.
Besides the fact that 50% of the lawyers think it's legal, 50% of the lawyers think it's illegal, and I have no idea where the fuck anything stands. But they should have did it fucking 8 months ago.
Correct.
But they didn't.
So the people could have been involved instead of the party taking a choice.
Chris's stance on the special election is why don't we do this for the primary? That way the people would have had a choice. Both parties, anybody could have ran. Everybody would have had a choice. Correct. And now at this last moment, we want to do it. And he's like, I don't think that's right.
Even if it was ethical and he is the best candidate, you just divided the party.
Well, that's all they do. The Democrats are having a huge divide right up here up now.
I know that. And but the thing of it is, it doesn't make it right.
I agree with you.
Here, go TJ.
Yeah, you and me, you and me, on the substance of everything are basically aligned. Where it's that's not right. But I'm the one who's always I'm not giving excuses. I'm trying to give
you're trying to be rational.
Well, in my mind, I'm trying to be okay, they are doing this because of ABC.
Yeah.
Right. What's the most?
And I'm telling you, they're lying to you.
I think a lot of them lie.
I know that.
I think a lot of people lie.
So again, How do you do it? Like I tell everybody, you have your town halls, your debates, and then you get everybody involved.
I think
and let the people decide.
I would love for the Republican Party of Lackawanna County to literally do like bi-monthly town halls or shit like that, where they talk to the people, listen to the people. Like, what did I tell you before? You and me agree social media isn't real. You need to see their face. You need to hear them speak.
Yep.
And that's the only way to get like even a sense of the temperature of what's going on. Because otherwise you're dictated by algorithm.
I hold those meetings. You know who comes?
Nobody.
No, actually, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to tell you the 3 people.
Are you talking about elected officials?
Elected or people
No, I don't
running?
give a fuck about. I want people showing up. I want regular, average, everyday.
Both.
Yeah, okay.
Well, because that's what I do. I invite the people.
Yeah.
I also invite elected officials so they get to meet.
Who shows up? I'm sure the people show up.
The people show up. The only one that showed up from the council was Steve Urban. So
he's on the Luzerne County Council.
He's running this thing in November. He is not. He's on the ballot.
So he's a candidate.
He's a candidate.
Yeah.
We're endorsing him.
Okay.
Because he's a conservative, and he's the only one that gives the respect to the people by showing up. And I argued with him. He's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
I told him, you have to do more. I said, the only thing that you did was I went at him. Just like I go after my daughter, just like I'll go after you.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I'm for honesty. Open it up. Leanne McDermott came, the head of the party. Okay. Because she didn't want me. I was going to run as a write-in campaign, and she was saying why I shouldn't. And then Walter Griffith came, going for county controller. We're backing him 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom Moscow running for judge.
I don't know who any of these people are.
But I'm just letting you know. But anybody that sees this thing. So guess what? Guess who I'm telling people, hey, listen, these are the only people that showed up, the only people that cared about you. You vote however you want. But just so you know, the other people didn't give a shit about MAGA conservatives and giving us a voice. So you deal with it. You figure out who you want to vote for. Are they worth your vote or not? You decide.
Are you concerned that MAGA has become, or always was, like a pejorative, like a slur?
No.
Because it really frustrates me knowing a lot of people who really want like better for their neighbors, their families, their kids.
I could care less.
And then people.
That's what they want. That's what they want. Just like killing Charlie Kirk. That's what they want. They want to turn.
Are you afraid? Or
me?
No, they in general.
Yes.
They want you, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I'm having a thing tomorrow at.
Do you feel like you need protection now for your events? Like, do you think this is an isolated thing, or do you think that this is?
I don't know. I told Kelly that I
guess one more, and there's a pattern. I guess there is, but there has been a pattern for years.
Because of Charlie Kirk thing, I didn't want to say this, but I told Kelly, it's going to come on in an interview. I told her 3 months ago. I said, I'm going to probably die with a bullet.
Really?
I swear to God.
Have people threatened you?
Oh, yeah.
Like with violence?
Yeah. Well, I know who you are. It's on my recorder. I played it at a council meeting. There was I know where you at. We've been watching you for a while. And John Lombardo said, shut it up, because there was curse words in it.
You're allowed to curse at those public meetings, by the way.
I know. But
how often does that happen?
It hasn't
happened.
Well, when I did the counter protest, there was a lot of people. TJ, they all know my name. It is scary. I have 2 choices: piss my pants, put my tail between the leg, or just leave it in God's hands. And you know what? I don't want it to happen, but you can't stop. What am I going to do? Quit? Let the people down? I mean, I get that other people can't. My kids are growing. My life is at the end of it. My diabetes is bad and all that.
I want to get you healthy. I don't give a fuck what you say, and I don't give a fuck.
I love you for that.
I don't give a fuck what you.
A lot of people say that.
Yeah,
but I can't stop.
My wife. I was trying to tell you before. Like my wife, she said to me the other day. She goes, "There's a lot of people. There's a group that because I'm vocal have threatened me. Like they make it a point to every day post about me.
Yeah,
and call me a racist and a Nazi and a bigot and a fascist and all this stuff. And at the beginning, it was very disconcerting. It was very, and I mean the beginning as like when Trump won, that's when they really fucking ramped up. Because I was a big Maha guy.
Yeah.
I'm really big into RFK and
I know.
the legacy and all that stuff. But for the first time, my wife said to me the day Charlie Kirk, she goes, this is the first time I've thought about you being in danger. And I'm like, just because I'm talking, just because like I've had such diverse groups of people.
They don't care.
What is that, man?
Insanity.
I mean, do we have to call it for what it is?
Yes. It's insanity. They hate, and are willing to do anything to kill goodness, honesty, openness.
I have, it was funny the other night. I was hanging out at my house, and I had two friends stop over, and I looked at them and I was like, "You're a Democrat candidate for an office.
Yeah.
You're a committee guy for the Democratic Party,
right?
And as far as everyone else is concerned, I'm an insurrectionist who never went to D.C.,
right?
And I'm like, what strange bedfellows we have here who just get along on the idea of objective truth, love.
Yeah. I was talking to.
I don't think it's a party thing, TJ.
It's not. It's not. It's again, like you just said, that the roulette wheel. There's a part of it. It just so happens that because of the trans movement and the Islamic movement, the people that are more on a tendency as a percentage to hate themselves, there go hate everybody else, or hate a religion, is on their side. So there's a higher percentage of them that hate, that are willing to commit violence than us. Listen, we had someone try to burn the governor's house down. That's horrible.
Didn't somebody firebomb Alec Grincavich's office?
Yes. Yeah. But when I'm talking about, there's nut jobs on each, but again, it's the roulette wheel. What's the percentages? What's the issue? Where are they coming from? I mean, these people that are transgender, they're nuts. They're nuts.
I'm trying to keep going. I'm trying to find this meme that I found the other day.
But yeah, so the reality is that yes, you need to be worried. Yes, I need to be worried. But if we stop doing what we do, they win. And then we have to ask the question, if people stormed the beach of Normandy when they were 16, 17, 18-year-old, because people lied to defend this country, when our forefathers took on the most powerful government ever, the army ever, that ruled this world and won, and a lot of them sacrificed their lives. And I'm not going to compare me and you to John Henry, or I'm not going to compare myself to John Doe that died on the beaches of Normandy.
No, I don't think you are.
But if they're willing to make the ultimate sacrifice and go where there's bullets going, we could still keep on talking.
Yeah.
And we do have to have eyes in the back of our head, and we do have to have some strong backbone, and we have to have courage and heart, and just have faith. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. Every night I go to bed wondering if I said the right thing, did the right thing. Am I doing the right thing? I don't know. I just have faith I am. And that's all I have.
Well, I've kind of come to this conclusion where everybody tries to put everybody in a box. So I'm gonna do that real quick. And I think that the only boxes we can put people in, like I said before, I think love is truth, right? I think deception is evil. The two groups are ones who tell you the truth and ones who don't. And the ones who don't do not have your best interests at heart. They are not looking out for your well-being. They do not love you. And sometimes the truth hurts, but it's not coming from a place of evil. It's coming from a place of love. And I think you're one of those guys. I mean, obviously you and I are going to try to, I will probably disagree with a lot of your ways to do that sometimes.
It's okay.
But you're a guy that, and when I used to live in LA and people ask me why I moved back, I would always say, because I would rather be stabbed in the heart than stabbed in the back. And there's something honest about the people of this area, like good, bad, or indifferent. They'll tell you at least what they think they believe. And I think you're one of those guys. I just wish that people would see like the bigger picture of like a mutually beneficial relationship, and that you're a passionate guy, and you're not. I don't think you're an evil person. I don't think you have hate in your heart. I don't think that you. You're very critical of things that years ago nobody would question.
Yeah.
And I think that that's an honorable thing, and I think that I think you're a good dude. It's just so frustrating to me. You can be frustrating, which is okay, but I think sometimes people can't get past that frustration, and it becomes like your identity to them. Yeah. And I think that they need to look past that. They need to meditate on that for a little bit.
Everybody that made a difference in the world, they said that about.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you.
Well, we're almost at 3 hours, man.
Goodbye.
And I'm incredible. Stay out on the microphone. Get on the microphone.
Goodbye.
I'm incredibly grateful that you sat here, and I hope that I hope you enjoyed it.
I did. We needed to do this for a long time.
Yeah.
And then it just was never the right time. And
today was the
right time.
Yeah.
I'm blessed that you're in my life.
I'm grateful that you're in mine.
I'm grateful. I'm very grateful that people have you up here in Northeastern PA, because I do see your podcast and I do know your heart.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, no. It's okay.
People go through, they're like, I watched you. And I'm like, no, why?
I used to say, man, his podcasts are long.
Yeah, but there's a lot of information, don't you think? Like, if you're but if you're interested, you're interested. If you're not, you're not.
I mean, this conversation felt like 15 minutes.
It's pretty cathartic, isn't it?
Oh my God.
Isn't it crazy?
It really, honestly, do I have to pay you a psychology fee after this one?
No. We're just friends.
Are we still going to go for clams?
We could try.
Let's do it.
I don't want to do two. I'm not eating clams. I might have a root beer.
You could have a root beer.
All right. I love you, man. Did you have fun?
I love you.
You want to do it again?
Anytime.
Okay. You're the best. TJ Fitzgerald, where do people find you? Give us all the socials and the websites and all that shit.
It's all the same. It's NEPARepublicans.com, and it's NEPA Republicans on Facebook. Please like us. Take a look. Well, first of all, look at the website. See what we stand for. If you like what we stand for, follow us. You will get invites to all the events. I'll give you we got a new event.
Oh, is this like breaking news?
Breaking news.
Okay.
What is it? Breaking the law.
Yeah. We're not doing that.
Kyle Rittenhouse.
No shit.
All
right, tell me.
Coming up, November 22nd, we're looking for a venue.
The day Kennedy was assassinated? What the fuck, TJ?
Oh my God. I didn't even realize.
It's the anniversary.
Okay. It just happened to land on a Saturday.
Okay.
But yeah, we got him. Ted Daniels is the one that's putting together. Kim Klasick.
Did you ever see the Kim Klasick?
Klasick.
Yeah,
yes.
she's from like Baltimore.
Yeah,
I believe.
Supposedly she's coming.
Where is this?
It's the 22nd, time and venue to be determined. But this is what I want. I like to serve the people. I want to set up events.
Can we get him to do a podcast here?
Who?
Kyle.
I'll do my best.
I mean, even if it's like Pressler gave us a half hour, Bresnahan gave us like 45 minutes. If we can
I'll do my best.
No promises.
No. But you know I will.
I know you will.
Yeah,
I know you will. That's okay. Good. I like Kim Klasick. I like Teddy. Did you ever see the podcast I did with Teddy and the reporter from the Scranton Times?
No.
I was like the mediator, the moderator.
How did that work?
Everyone's a monster till you talk to them.
Yeah, Teddy's a great guy.
He was nothing that I thought. Nothing that I expected. And that was like I was like coming out of my pupa, my Democratic pupa, and I thought at the time it was like our 9th or 10th podcast. And I remember I called up my buddy who was putting it on. He was the venue, and I said, look, if no one's there to mediate this, it's going to be the Victorian freak show, and no one's going to. Right. It's just going to get worse. The rhetoric is just going to get worse. And I did not want to be a part of it. I just felt like this, whether it's God or whatever, made me go like, you need to be down there to make sure that like everyone hears their points.
It's why I'm attracted to you, because you're a voice of reasoning and a voice of fairness.
I try.
I love that.
I love you, man.
I love you.
All right. Till next time.
Okay.
Be awesome. Thanks, buddy. I had a great time.